Welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing Podcast, broadcasting to you live from the true north, Canada. We made it through another year. There, huh? This is Mr. BDA with you, and as always with me, my co-host, the one and only King Bucho. King, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, how do I sound? Is the volume okay, or?
Yeah, it's okay.
Something sounds off, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know if people are listening to the right way with this. Hold on a sec. Let me boost this up a little bit, because I don't like how this sounds. But anyway, Bucho, we made it through another year, man.
Yeah, we did. It wasn't that. I don't know. It wasn't that great of a year. There were some good fights, but I think it could have been better. There's a lot of fights that can happen in 2018, so hopefully it goes the way we want it to go.
Mm-hmm. Now, I wanted to tell people that we're going to do bringing your list of 5 things you want to see for 2018, things you don't want to see. And I said, what is this, elementary school? Fuck that. There's no assignments here. If you want to, we'll just do it off the top of our heads, right, Bucho?
Yeah, fuck it.
I mean, what is this? If we want to do something, we'll do it. If we don't want to do, we won't do it. I mean, it's not freaking rocket science. We'll do it live.
Hey, you faggots, you say that about everybody.
All right, that was the wrong sound. Starting off well here. All right, now, what else do we got? So yeah, we made it through another year. There was a lot of interesting things here. If you want to join us, let's get this out of the way. If you want to join us, just join us via Google Hangouts. If you have a Gmail account, go to Google Hangouts. Write the email address that's on the top of the screen there, boxingdebate@hotmail.com. Send us your email. We'll send you a message, and bam, you're in. That's about it. I gotta repeat this every time, but it's because most people don't know. Most people think it's complicated. All right, let's see what we got in the chat room here. We got Victor Atkinson. Shout out to him. We got Kaiser Koba. We got Low Place. He says, yeah, I'm here early, baby. I want in on the fun. Of course, we're going to invite you soon. Let me just get this introduction side of the way. Low Place says, I haven't made it through yet. I'm getting fucked up tonight and I might not make it. Hamed92, shout out to Hamed. He says, yo, I just tuned in. Low Place says he's starting 2018 with porn and weed. Listen, that sounds like a freaking... That's the right way to start off. If you're not starting off the year that way, you're not starting off the year at all. Right, Bucho?
Absolutely. That's the way to go.
That's the only way to go. And also, I gotta say, we got Gaia 500. Gaia, are you there?
Yes.
All right.
I am ready to talk boxing.
All right, that's good. Can you hear Gaia correct? Fine, by the way, Bucho?
I didn't hear Gaia at all, man.
You didn't hear Gaia at all?
No.
Yes.
You hear that?
Nope.
All right, something's going on.
That's
I
weird.
am ready to talk boxing. That is correct.
All right. You know what? I think it's actually a good thing that we don't hear Gaia. Let me ask you people in the chat room. Did you hear can you hear Gaia 500? Let me
Are you
see.
asking the people?
Yeah, I'm going to ask the people.
May I ask a question? May I ask a question?
That's fucking
May
weird.
I ask a
I don't know.
question? May I ask
just
a
put it on the
question? May
loop.
I ask a question? May
So
I
that
ask a question? May I ask a
It's really
question?
shut
May
down
I
right now,
ask
but
a
it just talks
question?
so.
May
You
I
guys
ask
tell me
a
if you can hear
question?
it.
May I ask a question? 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 May
Can
I
anybody
ask
tell
a
me what it's
question? May
saying?
I ask a question?
Kaiser Koba says, yep. Victor says, no. So who's telling the truth here? Can you hear?
I don't know. You know what? It's not going through the Hangouts, but I think because on YouTube you can hear it.
That's weird. I told you I was having some problem with the Hangouts. For some reason, things aren't going through here. All right, you know what? I got no time for this. We got no time for this. Actually, we got limited time right now. So we actually got to get things done pronto. So let's get this over with, all right? First of all, I want to ask if Low Place comes in. I want to ask him about Sean Newton. Is that his name again? Sean Newton, right, Bucho?
Yeah, Sean Newton, yeah.
Sean Newton, yeah. He made a video referencing Low Place. So I want to get Low Place's thoughts on that. But again, the subject of...
We should get Sean Newton in this show.
Yeah, if he's even here. I don't know if he's here.
But, nah, he's not. I don't know. He's like in China or something, so... The time difference is fucked up.
Yeah, it is. All right, so listen, I want to start inviting people. But and also the subject of today's podcast is going to be the things that happened in 2017 and the things that you want to see for 2018. All right, and I'm gonna have to lay low for a couple of minutes here because I'm gonna get something to eat. I haven't eaten in about a couple of hours. I'm starving. There's no way I can do this without any food in my stomach, so I'm gonna get this done. All right, so now who wants into the podcast? Who wants in? You guys tell me and I'll invite you, but I can't do both things at the same time, so you go ahead and tell me and we'll get this party started. Meanwhile, Bucho, wait a minute, what? Hamed is saying Sean exposed Low Place. Oh, come on, we're gonna do this again. Look, Hamed, listen, you gotta come in here and you gotta talk to Low Place, because this chatting, chit-chat thing, doing it through the chit-chat room, it ain't gonna happen. All right?
We should get everybody that disagree with everybody and just have a fucking Royal Rumble.
Exactly. Everybody that disagrees with everybody should just come in. By the way, Lopez is saying that Sean is in Cambodia. I knew. Did you know what?
I don't know,
Listen,
man.
listen,
He's in fucking somewhere in Asia, man. That's what I said. I said maybe China. Fuck, I don't know.
Let me tell you something. Every time I hear that somebody's in Asia as a teacher or something, you know what that means, right? Covert operative, black ops, CIA.
Well, he's from Canada, so what do you have here? The CSIS or some shit?
Exactly. I don't think he's a real teacher. I think he's doing some covert operations over there.
Could be.
But now who is he after is the question.
Huh.
That's right. Anyway, Low Place wants in, so I'll invite him. Okay, can people... I don't think people answer the question in the chat room. Can you hear Gaia?
Why are you nude? Why are you nude?
I'm not...
They can, but I can't hear you. Like, the people who are going to be on Hangouts won't be able to hear anything that you play.
Now, why all of a sudden did this happen? Why are these sound issues going on right now?
I don't know, man.
Anyway, listen, we'll figure it out next week. For the moment, I don't think anybody really needs to hear Gaia 500 or the little sound effects we do. It's the end of the year. We're playing it as we go along, so screw that. All right, Bucho, you talk about what you liked about 2017, and then we'll talk about what's up for 2018. Let me just invite everybody that wants in, and we'll get this party started, right? Go ahead, Bucho, you take over.
What I liked about 2017?
Or what
okay, I'm gonna just get. Okay, should I just say my fucking list, man?
Go ahead.
Well, okay, fight of the year. I to be honest, I don't. Could be Lomachenko. I know people are gonna be like, oh, what? He didn't fight anybody in his own weight, whatever. But like, this Lomachenko has also, he also used to fight at 126, so it's not like he's some huge guy at 130, beating up on little guys. And Walter was pretty fucking big that he couldn't even make weight at some point when he was fighting at 126, right? So that was a good win. People say that he had a year layoff, but I mean, some fighters come up from even like more than a year layoff and fight and win, and some are ignored. Even though they fought like they had like a 1 year hiatus. So like, I don't know why we're making a fucking big deal out of Walters taking a year off. Let's see. I'm looking at Lomachenko's fights from 2017. Jason Souza, come on, that's a good win. He fucking clowned this guy. Mariaga's a great fighter. We saw him against what's his name again?
Oscar
Valdez. Yeah, exactly. Come on. And Valdez actually, like, he got dropped, I think, in that fight. He struggled against Mariaga. Lomachenko just destroyed Mariaga. And then Guillermo Rigondeaux, pound for pounders. I mean, so, and he toyed with him. And Lomachenko didn't beat Rigondeaux, like bullying him using his weight and stuff. No, he outboxed him. They were pity pats, man. He was throwing fucking pity pats. And Rigondeaux didn't know what the fuck to do against those fucking pity pats. So yeah, Lomachenko fight of the year. Best fight of the year would be just because of the huge magnitude and the whole the hype that was surrounding this fight. And it's gonna be Joshua against Klitschko. It was a great fight, one of the best heavyweight fights I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, that's my fight of the year. 90,000 people attended that fight. I mean, you can't beat that. The atmosphere was just crazy.
All right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. What others?
Let me ask something here, because we have... Can you hear me okay, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, see, because now that people came back in, the volume somehow went down here on my computer. I don't know what's going on. Something weird is going on here, and I don't like it. Can you hear me? All right.
Yeah, well, I can hear you, man.
Well, how about in the chat room? Did the sound go down from my end in the beginning, or can everybody hear me? See, that's
Good.
Kaiser Koba says, BDA, I can barely hear you. Every time somebody comes on the chat, on the Google Hangout, the volume goes down.
The fuck?
I don't know what's going on. Now, okay, we got... Who do we have here in the chat room, right? I mean, in the Hangout. We got
Oh, he said he went down. It went down for a second, he said.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, because I put it back up. All right, anyway, I'll deal with it as we go along. I'm not worried about it. Nothing worries BDA, especially at the end of the year. We got Victor Atkinson, we got Low Place, and we got Cameron. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing?
What's good, yo?
Good, man. I'm fucking more hookers than Billy Joe.
You don't fuck around and catch something, man. I'm worried about you.
Yep. We got a plan. We got a plan, baby.
Yo, you need to get whatever the fuck Magic Johnson got. You need to get with his people. Because you don't need it.
Yeah, he got the miracle drug.
He got the money.
Hey,
Speaking of AIDS, though, am I really the only person that's concerned with fucking Omar Figueroa poisoning someone or just like transmitting AIDS to them or just some type of weird ass disease?
Omar Figueroa?
What?
Yeah.
What the?
Oh, son said he injected fucking monkey blood into his hands.
Oh shit! I did hear some weird shit like that.
Did I hear
I
you
didn't
say
know
monkey
that.
blood?
Like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Okay,
Oh,
so
he injected those hands in the Robert Guerrero face after that.
facts. Yo, he got like so much stronger. When have you ever seen Robert Guerrero treated like that?
I need some monkey blood.
Fire, but dog. We all need that shit. It's like so he has like a fucking comic book character's origin story right now, yo. Also, for context, for today, like I said, I'm off, so I'm going to drink. So probably gonna say some weird shit at some point.
Wait a minute,
You've
are
all
you
been
drinking right
warned.
now?
Yes.
And what are you drinking? What is a drink of choice tonight for Victor
Oh, this is
Atkinson?
Tito's handmade vodka. It's a vodka day.
Tito Trinidad's handmade vodka.
Yes, yes. Straight from Tito Trinidad, man.
You know how he prepares that vodka, by the way? He dips his illegal hand wraps into
Yeah,
vodka
exactly.
and then he squeezes
Fucking
it
illegal
out
hand wraps.
into a cup. It's that illegal aspect that gives it its peculiar yet smooth taste. That's how it does it. It's really a nice trick. Cameron, are you there? I didn't hear you, by the way.
Yeah, I'm here. I was just waiting for them to finish what they were talking about.
Well, whatever they were talking about, meaning you weren't listening to what they were saying.
Damn, exposed.
For about 20 seconds I was, and then I thought, right, just let them finish, and then, yeah.
I don't need excuses. Now listen, guys, I gotta ask you something very important here because I'm having some sound issues on my end. Do you guys hear... What the hell is this? Okay, do you guys hear the robot?
Yes, yes, yes.
Make it say
yes,
something.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes.
not the
yes,
robot.
yes,
You can
yes,
hear the
yes,
robot on
yeah,
YouTube,
Yeah,
though.
yes, yes.
But you guys can't hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
What's it saying now?
I can't hear.
It's gonna say something. You tell me if
Oh, we
you
can't
hear
hear
it.
it now.
Hitler did nothing wrong. Hitler did nothing wrong.
It's not
Hitler
talking.
did nothing wrong.
God damn it, something is wrong here and I don't like it. But anyway, I can live without...
It's as quiet as Riggindale's Twitter since Lomachenko fight.
Oh,
To be fair, that robot is fucking retarded, so it's not that big of a loss. So that shit just gone.
well, listen, I'm not gonna let you stand here and talk bad about Gaia 500. It's we put a lot of
Fuck that
work into
robot.
it. You know what? You better be careful, man, because it's gonna transcend itself eventually. It's gonna come after you, man. Right now, it's confined to the BDA headquarters, but eventually, it's gonna grow into something bigger, and you're gonna have to watch out, man. That's all I'm saying. So,
Are you gonna give it citizenship the same way that fucking AI has citizenship in Saudi Arabia?
I hope not, because if it does, and it does have the status of a human, I'm gonna
Can
be
they
in
make
trouble.
those robots more fucking creepy, man? Did you see the one Victor's talking about? Like, it's all like its head all open and shit. You see all the brain and shit. Like, what the fuck is that? Can you make it more like human-like?
Isn't
All the
Saudi
time.
Arabia like a country where like women have fucked up rights there? Like they don't have like full rights?
Yeah, I think it was Qatar. No, United Arab Emirates is one of those. But still, yeah, all of those Gulf countries have kingdoms and they're fucking undemocratic. So, yeah, they're pretty
That's
fucked
fucking
up.
hilarious that they give like an AI more rights than they
Yeah.
have the fucking women there.
Yeah, that robot can actually drive a car.
Now that's the
That's
question.
beautiful.
That is the question. Would you fuck a robot? Essentially, I'm just gonna go. ahead
I
and
thought
say-
you
Let's
said
talk about-
would Jews fuck a robot. I was like, the fuck the Jewish people gotta do with fucking robots?
I see women
Make any
fuck
sense.
robots in porn. They fuck robots. They like
Yep, good
they
point, good
let
point.
that shit drive in them, and I'm like, bitch, you're fucking a robot. Why are you
That's
fucking a
CB.
robot?
I will tell you this though, I would not fuck a robot or get one of those fleshlights things, but I would like to be tased during sex one night. I've been trying to find the right woman for that shit, but I kind of scare them away once I bring up the taser and shit like that. I'm like, oh.
Wait, you would tase a robot, or you want to be tased by a robot?
Not
There you go,
by a
there you go.
robot, nigga, by a fucking person.
Do this.
Oh.
Get you know those ab belts? Those are ab contraction belts. Just start this. Get you one of those belts. Turn on the Pornhub. Turn that shit on high. Get the climax and report as to what happened. There you go. Try it yourself. You don't even need a trick. You don't even need a chick. Go for it yourself.
Pause. It's you saying report back.
I want to fucking know how this shit felt. I want to know how this shit felt. Hey, look. If you go get some head from a chick, and you can tell me she could stick your whole arm down her throat, I want to fucking know. I want to go stick my arm down her throat next. I don't know. You just make a video. Maybe that's the hey. That's the thought. That's the idea. I thought that would help you out. The you know the little contour belts. They hug the shit out your waist and electrocute you. Try that shit.
Yo,
try that shit.
You know those fucking the people that smoke a lot of shit that have that little fucking hole in their neck.
Yeah.
No, that's fucking nasty.
Okay,
that's fucking nasty.
Fuck them in the throat.
That is fucking nasty.
You can tell Victor's been drinking, man.
My name is Terry. I'm just smoking.
It's like fucking Darth Vader or something, man. All right, we got a robot. We got a robot right now on screen. That's an ugly robot right there. You know, that robot needs a little makeup, you know, maybe a change of clothes.
Adelaide Bird.
What's that?
So it looks like Adelaide Bird.
It does look like an Asian Adelaide Bird. Yeah. It probably makes bad decisions as well. Look at it.
You know what's the funniest shit about the Adelaide Bird shit? Okay, so we always talk about like, oh, Adelaide Bird shouldn't be a fucking judge. I mean, she should. She's corrupt. But nobody talks about Don Trella. Do you know that since the Canelo and Golovkin decision, Don Trella has made more bad decisions than Adelaide Bird? Adelaide Bird has actually had the same exact scorecard as everyone else so far. She's had like been on the right side of things. Don Trella has not. The social shit, that was Don Trella. There's some other fight that was also Don Trella. So are you to get him the fuck out of boxing? He's fucking shit up more than her.
Yeah, that's a good point right there, man.
People are fucking retarded with that shit. That was an obvious bait and switch. But niggas are like, oh, Adelaide Bird, let's get rid of her. Like, look at fucking Don Trella. He's just as bad. He's actually worse because he does more fucked up shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do it more often.
Okay, I gotta address something right away. Actually, you know what? No, let's keep talking about that. Victor, you're right, man. It's like a distraction. It's really to throw the scent off. Really, what's his name again? What's the name of the judge?
Don Trella.
Don Trella. Yeah, we gotta keep an eye on these guys.
Trella. You can find him on Boxbook if you don't believe me. Like, look at his scorecards in comparison to like the other judges. You're gonna see that he does like more fucked up shit than Adelaide Bird. Adelaide Bird has just had that one thing, which is still bad, is egregious, but all that shit happened the way it happened because it was supposed to happen like that.
Right.
He was supposed to have a scorecard of a draw, which was fucked up when it wasn't even a draw. She was supposed to have like a really bad, fucked up scorecard, so people like focused on her and not his scorecard, and then be like, "Oh, yay, get rid of Bird or whatever the fuck." It's dumb. People are dumb.
Oh my gosh, this dude. Man.
What?
This dude Hamid, man. Damn, dog. Like, keep talking to me about Sean Newton. I don't even know what the fuck Sean Newton done. All I know is Sean Newton can't comprehend shit. Like, he applies context to nothing. Why are you talking about Sean Newton?
No, I watched his video.
Yeah.
And he made a point about something that you said, Low Place, about, you don't give credit to Lomachenko for beating Walters because Walters had a 1-year layoff, right? But then Hearn beat Trout, and Trout had like an 18-month layoff.
Can I take this one? Can I take this one? Can I take this one before?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so the thing with that is Lomachenko's touted as like a pound-for-pound fighter. Nobody's saying that shit about Hearn.
No. I think Hearn is the.
Get the fuck out of here.
I think he's
a weight bully. That's it.
I think
He's
this right
pretty
here,
fucking
Darren
big.
Hurd got 2 of the best wins of the year. That's what I'll say. And the reason, let me tell you what. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Super fucking middleweight, kind
He hasn't done anything, man.
Boxing. Walters and Bob Arum. Bob Arum told told the media on behalf of Nicholas Walters, the offer was a joke. He shouldn't have took it. It was too low. Bob Arum come out and say this, and then he refuses to give his own fighter a fight and sets him out versus the so-called pound for pound best in the world. That's the problem. Al Heyman did not. We didn't hear talks of Al Heyman and Austin Trout saying, "Oh, you can't have fights. Al Heyman isn't giving me any fights. When is Trout coming back?" Yes, he came 18 months was the layoff, but it wasn't because of the other fighter. They were trying to protect Jared Hurd. They done put Jared Hurd in tough already with Tony Harrison, the guy that could beat you on any given night.
How good can you be after
Tony
18
Harrison
months
was
of
a tougher fight for him.
How good can you be after coming off an 18-month layoff? Because that was the thing with Walters, right? I mean, he's not the same guy. It's been a year.
He won every round in the fight until he got stopped. That's how good he was. That's
and
how
Regan,
good he was.
Regan was a pound for pounder, right? Or
He's not a 130 pounder. What does that have to do with it? Regan is not a 130 pounder.
Okay, so what was the difference in the fight here? Like, is it that 1 year layoff? Is it the weight? I mean, I hear all these excuses.
No. If Lomachenko is having a combination of issues, if he's doing this, it's his job to stop doing this. Okay, if he's willing to stand up in the ring and say, "I don't deserve any credit for this fight. I don't really give a shit what Sean Newton has to say." He just took the words. He repeated what I said. So Sean Newton, back down. Listen to your guy. Lomachenko told
look, please, I remember you kept talking about like the 1 year layoff, So
yes, that Bob.
I mean, you were making it an issue now. So
no. Bob Arum.
You were
okay. Now we're gonna talk. No, Rigo wasn't on a 1 year layoff. He just hadn't won a fight in a year and a half, and now it's about to be 2 years. Walters was on a year layoff, and Bob Arum put him on that layoff.
Oh yeah, Walters. Sorry. Yeah.
Didn't offer. Yeah, he didn't offer him any other fights. None. Trout has been calling to fight Hurd, and Hurd, it's not like Hurd had been active. Hurd had got 2 fights in a year. They was giving Lomachenko 2 months ahead of time, 3 months ahead of time. He's fighting. Hurd is just fighting 2 times a year like the rest of the damn Heyman fighters, and he was not, and they were not holding out Trout. They have given Trout opportunity after opportunity with a Charlo. Nobody could stop this man. He got in the ring, and I'll be honest, if somebody had better wins this year, Hurd wouldn't be there, but it's not people out there with 2 good wins. It's just not those kind of people out there.
All right, so we got that established. I mean, people are very incensed about who should be number 1 pound. I mean, the fighter of the year. By the way, does anybody know who Ring Magazine picked as fighter of the year?
Lomachenko.
Now, who
Wait,
was
that was Ring? I don't.
And let me say, he was out the ring. He was out the ring 8 months. That Austin Trout fight, Hurd was out the ring for 8 months himself. So that, I mean, the big deal that Sean's trying to make, he applies no context to boxing. I do not listen to Sean Newton unless he's going to come debate. It's like boxing ego. Why would I listen to you and you never want to debate a soul? You're scared. Go in your safe zone.
But he's been on your show, right? He's been on your show, Sean Newton, right?
Yeah. But it's every 9 months type shit. So that's how when I hear you, then I mean, it is what it is. It's a platform where we can talk boxing. If you're running away from it, don't expect me to sit in front of my screen while you talk for 40 minutes. Yeah, right.
Wait, so beating Austin Trout is like a good. He's
the first person to stop Austin Trout. Austin Trout was very competitive with the Charlo. He was very competitive with Canelo Alvarez.
Can you say that this is okay? But this is not the same Trout that from 2012, right? After he beat Cotto and stuff. I mean, this is a guy that like he's been all over the fucking place.
This Trout just gave Jamal Charlo his heart. Like that fight was neck and neck.
Jamal Charlo is
all right. I have to interject here. Hamed92 is saying Low Place has hijacked the podcast as usual. LOL. Well, listen, Hamed, you can come in. You can come into the hangout and set him straight. I mean, you're not gonna be able to do it from the chat room. You know,
Is Hamed Guy at 500? Is that who he really is at the chat room? That's what I'm starting to think. Hamed 500. That's what I'm gonna call you.
In reference to Gaia 500, is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like every time, he's just the main guy. Chat room, chat room, chat room. Dude, jump in. You try to expose me. Then when you can't, you're mad that I'm defending myself. What the fuck?
Trout wasn't shot in 2015. What?
He wasn't shot at all. He ain't.
Yeah.
He's not. I wouldn't say shot now. He was winning the damn
Right.
fight.
Exactly. Fuck.
Cameron
And also,
is
I have my
saying-
own theory about her style. It makes you like you have success against him more than you have success against like Charlo rather, because Charlo doesn't have terrible defense and shit. So you stay in the pocket more with her because you feel like, oh, I'm getting off on him. I can just like do this shit, and then he hits you like that one time. Like you'll land 3, he'll land 1, but he's big enough to like take your shit, and also you can't really take his. So his defensive liabilities, I guess that's not the word I want to use, but drunk, it actually works out in his favor because of shit like that. So it's easier for him to stop somebody like Trout than it is for Jamal Charlo to stop somebody like Trout, you know? Because Trout isn't going to stay in the pocket as much against Charlo because he's not having as much success, but he's going to do that against Hurt because he's having success, but that's bad.
Right.
It's how big and strong he is.
Okay, now we're getting into this whole thing about who is then Hurt.
Well,
Technical.
let's give Canelo credit for actually fucking knocking down Trout too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, that's.
Oh, because we're making Trout like okay. So, wait, how did Lara do against Trout?
He
Beat
dropped
him
him
easy.
too.
He beat him
Yeah.
easy. That's the only person
Yeah,
that beat him easy.
So
Maybe
Okay.
it was just
And
another
Lara,
shitty fight.
Lara's any
Isn't
given
that-
night gonna beat anybody he
so,
wants to beat.
so actually, Charlo's the most disappointing guy there, right?
Isn't that fucking hilarious?
no,
Yes,
I
he
would say
is, man.
Canelo.
He didn't do shit against Trout.
I would say Canelo because Canelo needed those judges to. They were robbing him during the fight during open scorecards, and it was just like Trout had to change his whole
Yeah,
game.
exactly. That's
Canelo
actually my
was
problem
that
with
was
open
fucking
scoring.
horrible.
That's actually my problem with open scoring. I feel like it changes the fight dramatically because a guy, if they know what's happening, they're gonna have to like fight entirely differently, and sometimes that's not. It's better because it doesn't help shit, you know. Like it's not gonna make them not be corrupt. It's just gonna change the fight, and that might not be a good thing, you know.
I mean, I
I don't know.
like
Charlo couldn't. Charlo
Go ahead.
couldn't hurt Trout here, right? Did he
Yeah,
hurt
he
Trout?
did. He did.
Charlo?
He hurt him several times. He was wobbling him several times. The Trout just stood up and took. It was a fucking beautiful fight. It was a good ass fight. And
See, this is why I'm interested in Charlo at middleweight.
Yeah, I think a lot of that also is the weight that I think you're alluding to, but I think he does have power though, so we're gonna see.
No, he has power. He has fucking power for sure. But at middleweight, that's what I want to see because he had trouble against Highland.
whoever does beat him,
He didn't have
is
trouble.
getting a lot of credit from me.
Knocking
Whoever
him
beats Charlo is getting credit. They won't go unnoticed. The guy that beats Charlo's been in as a champion. He's defended versus 2 guys I respect. Now he's moving up in weight. Whoever beats him, they got to be credited.
I agree. Well, I want to see more of him at middleweight though.
Yeah. The fight I want to see the most for Charlo is against Jacobs because, like, I feel like that's the easiest fight to make. You know.
Win on HBO or what? Like,
I wouldn't mind seeing.
Oh
him fuck
shit!
that
Yeah,
nigga.
that's right. Fucking networks
Yeah.
and shit might not be the easiest anymore.
Yeah,
Huh.
he,
could have been. I don't know why it never happened.
Yeah,
I think he fucked Danny Jacobs up, and I wouldn't mind seeing it.
I agree with you actually.
All right, now let's get this party started then. Let's get. What is? I mean, who should I ask first? Or who wants to go first for the one thing you want to see in 2018?
Strippers.
Strippers in. You mean? Oh, you mean the ring card girls stripping during the?
No, I'm
in
just
between match?
bullshit.
No, actually, that's a good idea. Now that you mention it. All right. Okay. You know what? I'll ask Cameron since he's been quiet for a while. Cameron, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, yeah.
All right. One thing that you would like to see in 2018, like you got a wish, right? You're a fan or whatever. I mean, you give us something that you want to see in 2018. It could be a fight. It could be a change in boxing, whatever.
Well, I would say less titles, but it looks like the WBA are kind of knocking them back. They're kind of getting rid of the titles now. So I don't like the way. What I would go for is, they've brought in VADA, with this whole clean program, drug testing thing, which has been really a disaster, really. I mean, when you look at the situations that they did with Ortiz and Povetkin, who have failed 2 drug tests, and have been allowed to keep fighting and basically get right back into the rankings. I think they need to address that next year and really look at what's the purpose of having.
Wait. Hold on. I hate to cut you off here, but what'd you say about Ortiz and Povetkin? I couldn't hear you.
I said that they basically failed 2 drugs tests in their career, and
well, Povetkin actually didn't fail a drug test at all, technically, and Ortiz, he failed for something that's really not that big of a deal. It's more like he just didn't disclose information he should have disclosed. You shouldn't really ban a guy for that either.
That's his problem. If you don't do that and you fail, you should be banned. No matter what it's
no, you should not be banned for that. He's not cheating. Why would you be banned for that?
He failed drug tests. Like, there's things in his system that were
things that don't give you an advantage in a fight that he's also taking because a doctor advised him to take. That's not what is he doing here?
If he didn't disclose it,
but if you so does closing it somehow make it better? Like, it's not like he's cheating. So like, why are we banning him though? Like, why is your idea to ban him? Because what unfair advantage does he have over other competitors right now? And would disclosing that take away that advantage?
I'm using them two as an example, but there's a lot of fighters, there's a lot of heavyweights out there that have failed drug tests. And in my opinion, if you should be banned,
you did, but it's a bad example though, because you named him. Then you cited the argument for him. And you said, but
he failed a drug
test,
and he's failed one before.
Yeah, he failed one before. That's fucked up. But for this one, that's nothing at all.
Well, it's different. I guess we have to agree to disagree. In my opinion, they should be paid. If you fail a drugs test, you should be out. That's my opinion.
That's dumb though. If you don't fail it for some shit just shouldn't be banned in the first place. And then that's like if a doctor tells you you want to take like fucking, I don't know, just aspirin or some shit like that, just some fucking random medicine, and then you take it, and then it turns out to be a banned substance under a different name. You're like, oh well, I didn't disclose it. That's sure, it's your fault for not disclosing it, but you're not cheating, and it doesn't give you an advantage. So, like, what's the big deal here? It doesn't matter.
I'm just people failing drug tests. I'm against people with a history of failing drug tests. I don't think they should be failing at all. So,
well, yeah, that's fair, but that's for in Ortiz's case, he failed it so long ago that it's like it does matter because those drugs actually do carry over. Like, those benefits don't just go away, but as the rules stand, he's still allowed to box. And hey, that's what the shit is. Based on the rules of it, he should not be banned like either way. In like a practical reason or for what the rules themselves are, he shouldn't be banned. And for Povetkin, he didn't even fail a test.
Well, this is all very interesting. Are you guys there?
Yeah.
Oh, it was like a fucking silence.
I was expecting something.
Yeah, it's like, well, listen, I've heard all this talk about Povetkin actually not testing positive and like how he took something that was illegal at the time, but then wasn't illegal after, and so. I mean, could be that because he's Russian, right? And
a lot of people say
the whole Russian connection.
In a sense, it is because he's Russian. Because like most of the Russians were doing meldonium because it's like an over-the-counter drug, and it's just a preventative thing. So in that sense, it's because he's Russian. But I don't think it was like targeted because he was Russian or some shit like that.
Yeah. All right. So, wait, Lopez, did you tell us your fighter of the year? He's gonna be good.
Politics aside, Badu Jack.
I was thinking that it would have to be Jack for you. Yo, my controversial opinion for last year's match is that DeGale beat Jack by like 1 point.
Nah.
Honestly, that's like a hard because of the styles. Where I feel like
I watched it yesterday. I watched it like yesterday, 2 days ago. First 6 rounds, James DeGale didn't win nothing but one of those rounds, and that was the first one. It just flags. Like controversy aside, I give it to James DeGale. He became the lineal champion at 168, and without the controversy, and he beat another prime Olympic gold medalist that was they both were my fighter of the year in 2015. I gave both of them my fighter of the year, like a co-award, because they were the only people that fought two real people, in my opinion. And without not, so I gave it to them. And then when they fought, he beat the shit out of them. And then he went up in weight and got another stoppage victory. And like I said, it's not a runaway award this year unless you go with like Rung Vasad. But I didn't rate Chocolito, so I couldn't give it to Rung Vasad. I've been saying this whole time, I don't rate Chocolito, and then Rung Vasad beats him, and I'm like, yeah, fighter of the year. No, I knew who he was. He was ready to be beat.
See, my whole thing with not giving it to Wangek is because, holy shit, you said Rung Vasad, not Kit Kat swipe your card. Ha!
Did I really call him Rung?
Yeah, you fucked all up. You fucked all up.
I'll get back to it soon. I'll get back to it soon.
No, but the reason why I don't give it to Wangek, because fighter of the year to me is weird, because although it is fighter of the year, it's the way I treat it is like a culmination of things. I'm not going to give it to you just based off of one big win. It has to be like things that you also did prior to that were not in that year. So it's really stupid for me to do it like that, but that's how I've always done it, So for me, fighter of the year is actually I'm thinking either Golovkin or Crawford. I'm leaning towards Crawford because he's the one that's actually making history by becoming undisputed like that. Wow. Like, none of Golovkin's wins, it's kind of shit because he didn't beat anybody great to become undisputed, but it's still going to be in history, so fuck it.
Yeah, it's a whack year. I gave this year a 5 out of 10 because nobody just set themselves apart. Like, Spence had the opportunity, fucking fought once. Fuck the shit. Like,
why did he fight once?
Joshua didn't finish up with old boy.
I think when he says he fought once, he means like he fought once that was like a good opponent. Like, nobody really gives that much of a fuck about Bundu. That was just like a stepping stone fight to Brook. And then after the Brook fight, nothing happened. That's what he means, right? Am I right?
Yeah, there's only one good fight.
He fought Brook in 16. And he finished out Brook, and he probably and the guy you just mentioned in 16.
He did? I thought that was in. Let me check this out.
So he fought once this year. So it's like I would have gave it to him. He went overseas and beat up a current champion.
Holy shit, you're right. I thought that was in fucking 2017.
Man, nobody like my list. I just had to have a list because the list has to be made. Like, it's nobody I'm really impressed with on a full year.
All right, we got Hamed on the line. Hamed, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Finally.
All right, finally. Yeah, it's been a while since I haven't talked to you. How have you been, man?
Yeah, I'm okay. A lot of sparring, but I think ready for the main. I'm joking. I'm all right.
All right, listen.
I thought there was an interesting thing. If you said 2017 was not a good year, something must be wrong with you. In terms of the fights made, 2017 has probably been the best year, I'd say, since 2007. You got one of the biggest heavyweight fights made. Then you got one of the best, probably the biggest middleweight fight made as well. And you got two of the best, arguably two of the best welterweights fighting each other. So
I have a question about like the idea of Joshua and Klitschko. What if Klitschko came back and sucked and Joshua like blew him out, or even went to decision? Would we still say that was one of the best? Because Klitschko hadn't fought in like what 2 years, 3 years, or some shit like that. And then his last fight, he lost to Tyson Fury, and like that was a boring fight according to most people, or according to everyone. So like, if he came back and sucked, what would we say about that?
That's a good point, but you got to take into context that fight took a lot out of him. The fight to Joshua, that was 11 rounds. He was cut.
No.
Badly hurt.
I'm not talking about that fight. I'm saying like, what if like that fight was bad? Would it still be like a good win? Is what I'm saying.
That's irrelevant because it didn't happen.
Well, yeah, but I mean, at the same time, I'm speaking of hypotheticals here. Like when we say like it's
but that's like saying, what if Mosley knocked down Mayweather in the second round? How would you rate it?
It's also like saying this, that the Fury Klitschko rematch wouldn't have meant anything if Fury won again. Like, I don't think he could do that. Like Klitschko knew he was coming back when he made this fight. Eddie Hearn didn't make this fight. Klitschko's like, yo, you better get me before I'm gone, and it's gonna be on my terms and like this and blah blah blah. And he got himself prepared, and he came in. He gave Joshua a hell of a fight, and I didn't expect it, but he ain't a legend for nothing.
That's what I was. What I meant was, were we right for expecting that Klitschko was going to be like what he was in that match? That's what I was trying to say. But I'm like,
well, a lot of people thought like, yo, Klitschko, it's too early. And then, but me, I'm sitting there like, too early? You fucking crazy? He's about to get demolished. I mean, I was like, he's gonna knock him out, and it showed early that he could hurt him, but never did I think Klitschko would get the fuck up.
Right.
I didn't think it was a mismatch. A lot of people, Joshua fans, were saying he's gonna knock him out in 3-4 rounds. I said it was.
I mean, I thought the smart money was on that shit happening. Like when I think about that match.
I mean, if you look at the guys that Joshua's fighting, I mean, people make a big thing about.
Not even because some of Klitschko.
No, but look at it this way. You have to look at it. The fight before, it was stylistically a completely different matchup. Joshua was going to come on straight to head on. He was trying to knock Klitschko's head on, and I think the main thing in that fight was in that 5th round when Klitschko got dropped. He knew that he had to fight off Joshua. Like, I think at the beginning he was trying to outbox him, but I think Klitschko could have finished him off. I mean, I was speaking to a couple of people earlier on in work, and I seen that round again. I think Klitschko's, the way he boxes, like, maybe not finished him off, but he definitely could have hurt him a bit more. And Joshua might have been in some more serious trouble. I think Klitschko's, his safety first style in that round, I think you could tell after he dropped him, I think he didn't jump on him as the way Joshua jumped on him in. I can't remember which round it was.
Hamed, let me ask you this, man. Do you think that Klitschko 2 years ago, or even that version from 3 years ago, do you think he could have finished Joshua off?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, inactivity is always going to play a part. His timing is off. If you watch that fight in the first round when they start exchanging, no, not in the first round. The first round where Joshua drops him. Is it the 4th? I can't remember the round. But Klitschko's timing in that round at the beginning, you could see some of his left hooks were missing. I think once he got settled, I think activity hurted him. Inactivity. If he was a bit more active, I think it might have helped him. I think the Klitschko maybe from 2 years ago might have beaten him, but that's
I say his left hook was off with Jennings and Fury as well, so I don't know if it's timing or it's just that's what you kind of sitting on with him.
But Jennings and Fury are completely different fighters. Joshua doesn't have any head movement. I mean, I know Jennings after that fight hasn't looked that great, but I thought in that fight, I don't know if it was an off night for Klitschko, but I thought Jennings fought a good fight and decent fight. I wouldn't say good fight because he lost, but I thought Fury fought probably a near perfect fight, but those guys had much more lateral movement and head movement than Joshua, so I think Klitschko's timing was kind of slightly off, but whether or not it made a difference, we'll never know.
All right, so we got Anthony Joshua, who some people see as a runner-up for Fighter of the Year. Some people say it's Crawford, some people say it's Lomachenko. I got a thing about Crawford, though, is when people choose him as Fighter of the Year for 2017, they always bring up the fact that he unified the division. But let's put it into context. Just because you unified doesn't necessarily mean that the opposition was good. I mean, he put a bunch of... Look, Indongo, okay, I give Crawford credit for taking him out the way he did. I mean, I don't know who else at 140 could do to Indongo what Crawford did. But, I mean, does he really...
That says more about 140, I think.
Was that?
That says more about 140, I think, because Indongo, to me, is just like a B-level fighter at best.
Well, I can ask a question. If Crawford fought 2 times a year and he fought 2 champions at 140 next year. Let's say just 2 champions, and it's Indongo and then another Indongo. Well, if Jared Hurd stops Jermell Charlo and then fights Erislandy Lara, are they like fucking cold fighters? No, they're not cold fighters of the year. We know the better opponent, so no, like you just don't. Just because you unify or undispute something. If that's the case, the guy over there in Britain should be a damn Fighter of the Year contender, and he's not. Ryan Burnett.
I think it depends. I think it depends what you prefer. I don't think just unify is enough, but for some people that's enough. But I think it depends on how you unify. I think since he looks so good, but then again, you got to look at the opposition. So I don't know. I wouldn't put Crawford as the fight of the year. For me, it's probably between Golovkin and Rungvisai. I think Golovkin. If you saying Badu Jack is fight of the year, he drew with was it De Gale? And
it's not a good comparison.
No,
but nowhere near the same.
Well, hold on,
De
let him
Gale
talk.
is not even
Nowhere near the same.
Let him talk.
De Gale is not even that
The
good.
fights were nowhere near the same.
The
fights were
talk, man.
nowhere near the same.
Low, please let him
You
talk.
gotta let me talk. Look, De Gale is not even that good. No one's been sold on De Gale compared to. I mean, Canelo. I thought was a much better fighter than any of. I mean, in the super middleweight division, I thought that era since Froch, Ward retired. De Gale was a guy that went life and death with Porky Medina. He lost arguably to. Not lost, but he had a close fight with Butte as well, and he had a really close fight with Durrell. I think he did beat Durrell more convincing than the other two, but I mean, Medina was the same guy that Benavides blew out in 2 rounds. So, I mean, De Gale, I've never been that sold on him. I don't know why even if you think Badu Jack beat him, but is that really win that much? He didn't even really win that convincingly. It was a close fight that could have been a draw. I thought Jack probably nicked it, but I don't think that, even if you class that as a win, is any more satisfying than a fight with Jacobs or Canelo.
Canelo, who has he beat cleanly? You mentioned Badu Jack. Who had a fuck Canelo beat cleanly? Tell me.
Yeah, but Canelo has fought much better fighters than De Gale.
No.
Who was De Gale?
Hold on. Answer the question. Don't go. Who has he beat cleanly? Did he beat Erislandy Lara cleanly?
See, that's the thing.
Who was De Gale?
Cleanly. In your eyes.
No. Was the controversial score? Because you keep saying Canelo was so much better. Well, I need Canelo to show me so much better performance.
All right, so
that's subjective, though. That's very subjective. It's up to you.
He has beat cleanly. Is Miguel Cotto, who would then go on to lose to Saddam Ali, because Cotto's not a contender.
After that, you want to talk about layoffs? What was the layoff when he fought Ali? Cotto's layoff. How long was that? Count it. Come on, say it.
Well, how long was Ali's? He handpicked this opponent.
Cotto's too. Okay, so come on. See, that's the thing, low place, because you take fights, and then you build a context.
It's like a 4-month layoff, wasn't it?
I don't know. Cotto handpicked his opponent. That's why I don't care. He picked his opponent.
The fact is,
De Gale lost.
There was a long layoff.
And De Gale,
it was a long layoff.
Wait.
Came to the United States. He came to the United States and beat Anthony Durrell, who beat Carl Froch, in my opinion. And he.
And what year was that? That year was. That was 2009.
I let you talk. You went on and on. You blasted a fighter. When the fuck has Canelo went anywhere? But okay, he comes up to the United States. Basically, he travels up to Las Vegas a few miles. He ain't traveling no water. He's not going into harsh territories. The damn United States is over there is basically fucking Mexico. When the fuck has he done that?
Where should he go? Where should he go?
We just admitted he robbed Austin Trout. We just admitted it.
No, he didn't rob Austin Trout. Shut up. Yo, what the fuck?
He lost.
Robbery.
That's the thing with Canelo. Like, we always do some fucking revisionist history with him to make it seem like he lost these fights. I said this a while.
Yeah, like he's nothing. Like all of a sudden, robbery against Trout. It's like Chavez. It's not Chavez Whitaker. It's not Chavez Whitaker. That was a robbery. It's not Chavez Whitaker.
So wait today. Let me see. Who's better pound for pound? Then you think De Gale is the better pound for pound fighter?
Miguel, easy. He got the better victory.
Okay, can I hold on? Let me just say something. Hold on. We need to get some guys. We need some order here. We need some order. First of all,
check his career.
Hey, Bucho, we need some order here. Come on. Look, let's address everything point by point. One, Lopez, you said Canelo's fights were controversial. We gotta get down to what controversial means, because, for example, Triple G Canelo was controversial because most people thought Triple G won that fight clearly, and it was called a draw, which it shouldn't have. So that's a controversial one. When it's a close fight, as it was against Lara and against Trout, I don't think that one was controversial. If Trout would have won that fight cleanly, and then they would have given it to Canelo, and most people would have thought that Canelo should have lost, okay, then that would have been controversial.
No, the issue
use the word robbery.
Is this.
You use the word robbery. Come on.
No, the issue. This is a robbery. This is a robbery.
Oh, it's not a robbery, man. Jesus.
Hold on.
You want to make an argument, so you throw in these words.
Whoa. Did you ever talk over Hamed? You didn't, man. You didn't.
Me?
Look, you didn't talk over Hamed. Let me make the point. When you're in a fight, and I'm seeing Canelo versus Trout is a close fight, and then we go to open scoring, and we see Canelo's leading the fight by a margin that he shouldn't be leading it by. Guess what? That's a robbery. Okay, I'm not. If it is not right when you see Canelo versus Lara say 117, 111, and you know you're seeing a close fight. That is a robbery. All right, it don't got to be this is only a robbery. No, it's a robbery.
The open scoring was the WBC's idea. It was a WBC thing. So go complain to the WBC. I mean, I don't like open scoring, but it happened.
Yeah, and the other thing is
I'm going to complain about Canelo and his promoter.
He didn't rob anybody. You just want to diminish his accomplishments.
All right, but hold on.
It was a close fight. It wasn't a robbery.
Dude, he lost to a 37-year-old that came up in weight, that he was 20 pounds heavier than him. I don't have to diminish shit. He diminished himself that night.
Okay,
you're not supposed to lose.
Let's back up. Akuma's deception in the chat room is making a good point. He's saying Lopez is always arguing with semantics, but it's not just him. We all go down to semantics. Let's back up. All right, let's back up.
Can I say something? 1 sec.
Yeah, go ahead.
If Ward Mayweather beat Canelo, who's one of the greatest fighters of our era, I think we all agree, probably the greatest of the last era. If Ward fought DeGale, who was probably the last best super middleweight since, I don't know, before that, DeGale, Jack, whatever, when they came along, I think Ward would have done a big number on DeGale. Now, I think you can't, just because he's lost to Mayweather, you can't really downplay. The other thing I'd say is, who would have won is the point. But the other thing I'd say is, I think Jack has been on the wrong end of a lot of bad decisions, same as Canelo. But DeGale, I thought, got a couple that he was lucky, or got the fortunate benefit of the doubt. So you can't really play one way and then not call DeGale up on it.
That's a good point.
Look, all I can flat out tell you is this: until you tell me who Canelo has beaten, don't go running off. Or DeGale came over to the States.
Okay.
Hold on. Anthony Durrell went over there and he beat Carl Froch and they robbed him. And then DeGale came over here.
Now, Lopez, you love your lineal titles, right? You love your lineal titles, and I don't care. Like Canelo, when he fought Cotto, he was at middleweight.
What's wrong with
hold on. He won. Canelo won that lineal title against Cotto.
He won it at 155 pounds.
I don't give a shit. You know what middleweight is? Do you know what middleweight is? Do you know what middleweight is? Do you know what middleweight is? It's above 154. It's above 154.
All right, listen, I gotta interject again.
He doesn't want context because he doesn't want Triple G judge. I don't get this, man.
I have to interject.
If you're proud of Canelo and 155, that's good for you.
And I'm just gonna keep talking. I have to interject, guys, because we're getting away from the actual discussion. Look, we're going from one point to another, and we forget about the points we made earlier. First of all, Low Play said that it was a controversial decision, the Trout versus Canelo fight, but
a robbery. He said robbery.
Yeah, robbery.
What?
But his argument is that because the open scorecards showed that Canelo was ahead by margins that he shouldn't have been. Okay, that's true. However, the decision could have been gone either way. Okay, I actually had Canelo winning, but if somebody would have given it to Trout, one of the judges, I would have been okay. Now, the margins by which he was ahead, yes, they were wrong, but at the end of the day, was the decision just? 18. And it was a close fight, so he wasn't a robbery. So he wasn't. Well, hold on. So he wasn't a robbery.
118 to 109.
Okay. I know it sucks.
And then tell me, but you don't do the. But look, a lot of people had Trout winning the fight, and I'll be honest. I thought Canelo nicked the fight with his knockdown. But at the end of the day, when I
Yeah,
know I'm watching a nicking, potential nicking, don't come tell me 118 and then tell me not to say, oh, that's a robbery. This guy had his scorecard written out before the damn scorecard was handed to him.
I agree.
They said, here's your
Can
scorecard.
I
He said,
say
no, I
something?
already got it out of my pocket.
But hold on. Hamed, before you say it,
No,
I just
oh,
want to
wait.
address that point. I want to address that point because you're saying, Lopez, you're saying that's a robbery. And it's true. That scorecard was filled up before the fight, or the judge was completely inept and shouldn't be judging anymore. That being said, at the end of the day, the decision wasn't controversial because it could have gone either way. So that's not a robbery to me. That one judge made a mistake.
But the point is, what that scorecard was probably a couple of rounds off, but the Canelo Triple G 118, 110 was way worse. I was going to say one thing. You talk about the Trout fight. I don't think that was even that controversial. If you want to talk about a decision, then it's probably the Lara fight, because a lot of people thought Lara won that fight. The Trout fight, I thought Canelo won maybe 7 or 8-4. I think maybe you could argue the knockdown was the difference. I agree it was a close fight, but that Trout was much better than the one that Hearn beat. I mean, how the hell can you even compare? That Trout had beaten Cotto, was active. I mean, that was all dangerous. So I'm surprised that Canelo took that fight.
It's the same guy.
Back,
it's the same Trout.
It is the same guy, but that was
okay,
4 years
better,
ago.
Tell me what changed about it. Okay,
ago.
years don't make a fighter worse. What changed about it? What changed about
Yeah,
it?
but he was active.
No.
Yeah,
You just can't say years alone. Okay, you just can't say years alone. Tell me what changed about it. Why was he so? Why was he so competitive with Jamel? Okay, so you think the same Austin Trout that beat Cotto, you think the same Austin Trout that beat Cotto would have done better in the Jamal Charlo fight? No, it's just
I never
not
said
Cotto.
anything. You're just putting words in my mouth. I said he beat
you're saying these fighters are shot.
Hey, come on, let the other guy talk.
Look,
why is he shot him, man?
Look, he beat a better. I never said he was shot. I said he was faded. He took a beating off Lara. Bad.
Man was winning the fight easily, looking dominant in his. Yo, no. Time out.
Hey, Lopez, you need to let Hamed talk, man. Lopez, you need to let Hamed talk.
You don't let people talk, and this is
all he's
doing. Low place.
Okay.
Let Hamed talk, and then you can talk.
Hold on. Here's what we're gonna do. Hamed, we're gonna give you about, because we're tight on time here, so 30 seconds, and then we'll let Lopez respond. All right. So Hamed, go ahead.
I was gonna say he was active. He was unbeaten, which should count. I mean, and he'd beaten Cotto, and he looked good. Now, I'd say that was his first defeat against Canelo. The only thing I'd say was against Hearn, when he fought him, he was inactive. He took a beating off Lara. I mean, Charlo aside, forget that fight. I'm not even looking at that. He took a beating off Lara. He lost like every round. He got dropped. He looked, I wouldn't say shot, but he looked faded, and he was on the decline. Now, he put up a good fight against Hearn. But what does that say? Does that say Hearn is even that good? Or does that say Trout was in his prime? Because I don't think he was in his prime. I just think he had one last good fight left in him. But he took a beating towards the end of the fight against Hearn. Maybe he was against Charlo. That could have been an off night for Charlo. But I don't think... The guy that fought Canelo and fought Cotto,
10 seconds.
He was younger and fresher. But would it have made a difference against Hearn and Charlo? We don't know. I just think Canelo fought a much better version of Trout.
All right, now let's Lopez address that.
I know a lot about boxing, have for a long time. Austin Trout was showing Charlo some moves. He was showing Hearn some moves. He couldn't show Lara the moves. His styles make fights. A couple years out of his career ain't going to change him. If he come into the fight ready, he's going to be ready that night. He was ready those nights. He put on a great performance versus Cotto. Cotto put on a great one versus Jamal Charlo. I thought he had no shot to win it. Fooled me. Hearn as well. Came in one of the early rounds. Hearn said, nope, unlike all those other names you fight, I'm stopping your ass. And when you stop somebody who's never been stopped, never been in threat to be stopped, I'm giving you credit. Simple as that. And I think he's one of the only guys that took 2 fights this year that are of even substance. I think Tony Harrison and Trout are better opponents than most guys face. And now that's sad. That's not a good thing. You should have faced better opposition than that. But did they? No, it's not my fault. Your argument isn't with me. Your argument is with these fucking fighters cherry picking. That's them fighting once a year. Thurman, all them guys. That's them, not me.
All right. Well, you can tell everybody out there that's listening in the chat room, you can tell that this whole pound for pound discussion gets people heated up. Now, I always say here at BDA, I don't like to go too much into that whole pound for pound discussion because as you can see, first of all, it's objective and it gets people really riled up. So let's move on now. Who hasn't talked here? Victor, you haven't talked in a while. Are you still there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course I'm still here.
He's all fucked up now.
Well, he's all fucked up.
I am not. I have a great tolerance. I don't know where that came from.
All right. Well, that's that Virginia fucking genetics you have in there. Victor, I want to ask you, man. One thing that you want to see in 2018.
Oh, yeah, that one. I forgot that question was even asked. Let's see. One thing I want to see.
Or one thing you don't want to see, whatever.
One thing I don't want to see is just fighters ducking other fighters and just prolong the matches that we want to see as fans.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I want to see, I guess, would just be the opposite of that. The fights that we want to see happening. The fight I want to see most, I guess, is honestly Wilder versus Joshua, just because it'll be the first time we saw Wilder against someone, good.
All right, now you pick somebody who that you want to hear from to tell us what they want to see in 2018. You go ahead and do it.
Cameron. You still here, bro?
I don't think he is.
He's probably taking a call from Arriaga. He's taking a call from Arriaga.
Can I say something? I was going to say something, which I think, just looking at the chat, is an interesting thing. One thing you got to consider, Canelo beat Trout. Canelo was the smaller guy. I don't care if he was whatever on the weight and that, but size-wise, they're about the same size, so Canelo might have been smaller. He was shorter as well. Okay. With Hearn had much more size than Trout. And he was younger, and Trout was much older. I mean, people call Jacobs a weight bully. I mean, Hearn is the definition of a weight bully. Now, I don't really buy too much into the weight bullying thing, because I think if you make the weight, then, and you make if it's an IBF weigh-in, whatever, and you make that, then it should not be too much of a case. I still think you can be called upon it, but then again, the weigh-in should be changed to the day of the fight. But Hearn used a lot of his weight against Trout, and Canelo beat him, I thought, with some skill. He didn't really use his size or anything to beat Hearn, to beat Trout. And Hearn was fighting a much older Trout as well, and he was losing about 5 or 6-0 down. So, I think that shows that Hearn is not maybe that good, or maybe not on that level of Canelo or someone like that. But, that's the thing that you got to take into context as well. Hearn, it did have a lot of size over Trout.
All right.
Are they in the same division? Do they make the same weight?
Yeah, but you call Jacobs.
No.
Upon it.
We're gonna go through this again.
So you don't want to answer the question. Do they make the same weight? Yes or no?
But didn't I just say I don't buy
my ass? Too much? No, it ain't a but. Come on, do they make the same weight? Yes or no? And if Canelo's such a small man, why the fuck is he fighting at 165? What is it? 165 pounds? He that much smaller than Trout? Man, stop playing, man. Are you kidding? Are you kidding?
Dirty motherfucker. Let me tell you something. You two dirty motherfuckers are ruining my New Year's party, all right? You're
Trout weighted in at 172, I think, for that Canelo
don't
fight.
Even entertain this. Bucho, don't entertain this fucking argument. Listen, guys, I don't want to hear anything more about Canelo Trout. It's over.
But Canelo is like a 159 or something. Now you have Hearn who's like, what, 6'2" or something?
Are we even on the same wavelength here?
Exactly.
Hearn is like it's a middleweight, man.
But Hearn is making his weight.
He's 6'2".
That's all it counts. Trout wanted to fight. He knew who he was fighting. He thought he would win on skill. He'd been calling for the fight. That's what the only fight he wanted. They gave him Hearn. Hearn was on an 8-month layoff. Trout was on a long 18-month layoff.
How long has Hearn been at 154? And can he still make 154? Can he still make 150? Can he still make 154? Is he moving up to 160? Is he moving up to 160?
I hope he fights Charlo at 154. I hope he fights Lara at 154 as well. He didn't have to go anywhere.
I sense a bit of bias towards Hearn from you, because all I've seen is you've been praising him non-stop. But I'm
arguing you that you're hating on him, praising him, and arguing you that you.
I'm not hating on him. I'm stating facts.
You're hating on his year. Just like the man fought.
Just like you try state facts or hate on other fighters, like I'm just stating facts. He was the bigger man. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so what? Many guys are the bigger man. Who's the bigger man in Tommy Hearn versus Marvin Hagler? Who's the bigger man there? Guess who got knocked out? Guess who got knocked out?
I was saying that helped.
Doesn't matter,
exactly.
Man.
That helped. So Rigondeaux against Lomachenko is not a big deal, right? I mean, who cares if?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Well, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So it matters when you want it to matter, and it doesn't matter when you don't want it to matter.
Yeah,
I mean,
somebody
come
came up
on,
from
man.
2 weight division. A 38-year-old come up
Come
from 2
on.
weight
All right,
divisions,
listen, guys,
and we're
guys,
talking
guys.
about prime fighters, man.
So
this
was he
is
fat
ridiculous.
or
Guys,
something?
this fucking discussion. I'll be honest. I'm gonna make an executive decision here. The people in the chat room, I don't think they really care about that. I mean, we've already talked about this. We moved on. I don't want to go back to the whole Canelo, Hearn, the Trout, Lara fucking quadruple play here, right? Let's keep it moving, guys, because we got limited time. Cameron, are you even there, man? Cameron.
Whatever, he's not there.
I think Mariaga kidnapped him, man. Remember last time he was calling him Papi or something? I mean, this is just too
Wait,
much.
what?
Man.
What?
Yeah, he got a call from Mariaga because he was trying to do an interview, and then Mariaga texted him back saying something Papi or something, which means daddy.
Wait. Okay, so both of you guys are Mexican. Is that like a common like Hispanic thing?
No, well, you
'Cause
don't
I've
say
heard
that.
that shit a lot, but that's also weird as fuck to me that people even do that.
You don't say that to a guy, another guy. Like if you're a guy, if I call you Papi, you should get away from me as quickly as you can, because that's
It's fucking gay as hell.
That's
That's
what I've
gay.
been thinking. Thank you.
Why did somebody call you Papi in your life, or what?
Nah, I just like hear that shit. It's like in drug shit. Like a fucking this happens with like black people will say this shit about like a Hispanic guy, like, nah, and Poppy did some shit and like, dog, why are you calling this nigga Poppy? Like he's fucking like, do you want to call him daddy? What is that? Why? Why are you doing this?
Maybe it's Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans do it between each other, I think. Like, people Cubans and everything, but Mexicans.
Okay, because
type of
those
shit
people
doesn't-
generally are Puerto Rican. That's interesting.
All right, listen, Victor's people in the chat room are saying it's either you or Cameron that have to speak because you haven't spoken in a while. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask you something, man. Out of all the fight, you mentioned Wilder Joshua. Oh, Cameron, are you there, Ben?
He's
Okay.
gone forever.
No, he's in the snow, I think. Listen, you said Joshua Wilder. That's the fight you want to see. Do you even see that happening, first of all, in 2018? Realistically?
I do actually. I think it's going to happen like in the summer or fall or some shit like that. But I think it's actually going to go down.
Now, isn't Wilder supposed to fight Ortiz first?
I don't think Wilder wants to fight Ortiz. I think something's going to happen there, and that fight just isn't going to happen. I mean, Ortiz is probably one of the most avoided heavyweights right now, and I don't see Wilder going from not fighting anyone to fighting Ortiz, even if Ortiz is old as fuck. It's just, I don't see it happening. He could have already fought Ortiz. When Ortiz tested positive for that shit, he actually still could have fought him because he didn't test positive for anything bad. It's just like some random shit. Like, anyone that knows shit about this knows that that fight still could have happened. There was nothing preventing that fight from happening. And then he gave some bullshit explanation of how he's not going to fight anybody that tested positive for anything. And then he fought Vern, who tested positive for something. So he just didn't want to fight Ortiz. And I don't see why he would go from not wanting to fight Ortiz to wanting to fight Ortiz. That's odd.
Actually, I have a problem seeing Wilder not wanting to fight Ortiz and then wanting to fight Joshua. I mean, isn't that fight more dangerous?
No, that's a very good argument, but at the same time, you have to think about the money. Like, I would much rather fight Joshua than, and this is just me. I mean, like me as I am now, not me if I was Wilder. I'd rather fight fucking Joshua than fight Ortiz because both of those guys would beat me, but I'd make more money fighting Joshua. So I was like, okay, I'll take that shit. And then if you lose to Joshua, you're losing to like a champion. You can still go back and be whatever the fuck you are.
Okay, now listen, I'm going to ask Hamed a question and then I'm going to ask Lopez a question. Hamed, first of all, you're from the UK. Realistically, if the Wilder-Joshua fight happens, is Wilder going to go to the UK? I mean, is this the only way the fight's going to happen? Or do you see Joshua pulling a Lennox Lewis and actually going to the United States?
But when, what is the question? When, 2018 or 19?
Well, whenever it happens. Happens.
I don't think that part matters.
It's not going to happen in 2018. I don't think it'll happen in 2018. I think the plan will be probably Parker next, then probably Povetkin and whatever, either Pulev, and then they'll probably try and chase the Fury fight. I think the Wilder fight will probably not happen. Maybe 2018 late is the earliest, but I think it probably happened 2019.
But
I thought that was crazy when some people, I might do 2 fights. I've seen something Eddie Hearn saying recently. They might do one in the UK or one in America. I think that'd be a good idea. If Wilder doesn't want to leave America, then maybe they should give him something in the contract that he could have the rematch in America. I think the first fight should be in the UK at the moment. I mean, Wilder is not a crossover star. So in America, that fight, and Joshua is not big in America yet. That fight in America at the moment does not seem big. Maybe in 2 years' time or a year's time, when the fight actually happens, maybe in America it might be bigger. But at this
It
moment, in
would
time,
never be bigger.
maybe be bigger. Maybe be bigger.
Dude, no, get the fuck out of here. There is no way that fight would be bigger in America than it would be in the UK.
No,
there
bigger
is-
in
it's just not
America.
possible.
Bigger in America than it is in America now.
But even still, even if that was the case, it's still bigger in the UK. There's no reason to have this.
No,
fight
no,
in
no.
America.
I don't disagree. I was saying, if it's half as big in America as it is now, maybe 2 times bigger. I think.
Yeah, I was wondering what you meant by half.
No, maybe double. I meant
Yeah.
maybe they could do a million buys in America, and that'd be good business. But I think it doesn't make sense in America. I think it'd have to be in the UK. I wouldn't mind seeing if it's in America in a 2-fight deal or something, just to see how a heavyweight fight in Vegas would be. But yeah, I doubt it happens.
All right, now listen, I gotta go to the chat room here and see what people are saying regarding that scenario. People are saying, Nicola Ferrari says Wilder to the UK, but he can do good in the US too, thanks to Joshua only. B Prob KR says Joshua should go to Alabama. LOL. I think he's being facetious. Kaiser Koba says Wilder has to go to the UK. He's the B side and he needs to prove himself. Luis Catorce says I agree with Kaiser. Bucho laughs about the fight taking place in Alabama. Bal Sagot says Wilder has no right to demand a fight in the US and certainly not in Alabama. All right, Low Place, you've been making a series of videos criticizing Deontay Wilder. You even made one where you were pretending to be Wilder as a little kid and he had a wish list for Uncle Al Heyman, and you were doing the little kid voice. First of all, I gotta ask you, were you dressed as a kid when you were doing that video as well, or?
Yep.
Oh my goodness gracious! Listen, I didn't think you were crazy before. Now
I got all the way in character. Got all the way in character.
Yeah, you do the, what's it called, method acting, huh? You put yourself in the role, and were you walking around the streets dressed as a little boy?
Well, I spent 2 weeks at a local daycare.
Oh man!
And from there, I had it. I knew I had it from there.
Did you get into an argument with the kids regarding the pound for pound best guy in the world?
No, I observed silently. I made sure I observed silently, but I did enjoy lunch. I did enjoy the lunch times. I got my sandwich. I got my ketchup on my sandwich. Drawn on.
Wait. What sandwich exactly? What ketchup?
It was just a ham sandwich for lunch, and they drew
put a fucking ketchup on a ham sandwich, bro.
I was in my role. I was into my role. I seen kids eating peanut butter and mayonnaise together, and I did not in my role. And I wrote my ketchup on as a smiley face. And I enjoyed it. I really got deep in the character for that one.
Jeez, Luis, ketchup in a ham sandwich. That is. Were you trying to get into the character of a bum or of a little kid, man? What the fuck? All right.
Definitely a kid.
A little kid that would grow up and be a bum. That's what that was.
that kid that I was playing has grown up to be a bum in a way. So I really had to get there, man. I got there.
All right, let's move on to serious shit here. Okay, so you heard about the people saying that obviously Joshua has to stay at home and Wilder has to go to the UK to get that fight. Do you think that Deontay Wilder is too stubborn to go to UK, or is it Uncle Al who is somehow preventing all this from happening?
Can I say something? No, I don't think that's.
Wait, hold on. I wanna
come to the UK before, so I don't know why people think that.
When did he go to the UK?
Audley Harrison in when was that? 2013, I think. April 2013. Yeah, on the undercard of Khan against Julio Diaz. Yeah, he's fought in the UK before, and he was meant to fight Chisora in the UK, but I can't remember. I think Wilder pulled out to the injury. He was meant to fight the UK again.
All right. So based off of that, Lopez, do you think it ever happens?
I mean, it happens, but when does Wilder get realistic? And I'm kind of not caring no more. Joshua's career can go on without it. Boxing has been going on without Wilder. So, I mean, I just feel like it should. I just got to lose. I stopped caring. He's not exciting. He's wasting my time. It happens, but so what? You know, definitely not my list. If it's like, what do you want in 2018? Wilder doesn't even come to my fucking mind.
Does anyone favor Wilder over Joshua?
Some people do for some reason.
I don't know. I got a feeling Wilder. The longer the fight goes, I think Wilder might not have as much chance. I think if it happens now, I don't know. I just got a feeling Wilder might have a chance. If Josh was too heavy, I think the weights might affect him. I think if Wilder tries blasting him out early, he might have a chance. I still favor Joshua in a way, but I don't know. I think if he's in America, I'd give Wilder a bit more chance. I think in the UK, I think Joshua would probably beat him, but even then, I think Joshua would have to be in the right condition. Like the weight he came in against Klitschko, I thought was good. Against Takam, I didn't like the way he looked and the weight and all that. I thought he was too big.
All right, now let me ask Victor something. You said that you wanted Joshua Wilder to be the fight that you want to see the most in 2018. Financially, do you think this is the second biggest fight behind Canelo versus Golovkin?
I think it is the biggest fight just because of Joshua.
Wait. When you say biggest, when you answer that, are you saying
like
literally or?
I think as far as the money that it would generate, I think it's actually bigger than the Canelo and Golovkin fight, just because of how, assuming that this fight happens the way it's supposed to happen, you know, like proper build up, have it be in the UK, I think it's going to generate more money.
Is it a bigger fight than the Klitschko fight? I was going to ask because I agree it's bigger than the Golovkin-Canelo fight because they've already fought. I'd probably say it was bigger than the first fight because when it's two heavyweights and with Joshua it's such a big nib. But what's a bigger fight? I'd probably still say the Klitschko fight was bigger.
It is, definitely. People care about Klitschko in the UK as well. People don't give a fuck about Wilder even now. I mean, why would they? Wilder isn't someone that you should really care about in the UK. It's not to that scale, you know. Klitschko is a fucking all-time great if you want to be realistic about this shit. And he also fought Tyson Fury too, so that has that UK backing as well.
Yeah, and he fought but Klitschko could also draw like 80, 70,000 in Germany. Wilder, I'm not too sure if he's drew more than 15 or 20,000.
Pretty sure he has
either way, I think Wilder Joshua could be the bigger fight in a year. It still has the potential. Yeah,
I agree with that.
American media hype can do it easily.
I think another thing will probably play because America hasn't had a heavyweight in a big fight for such a long time. I think that might play a factor. I mean, you'd have to go back to the Tyson Lewis probably fight then. Obviously, we know Tyson was way past his best, but I can't think of an American involved in a big heavyweight fight since that fight. I don't think there has been an American heavyweight fighter involved in a big unification fight since that fight.
Hamed, people are Nicola Ferrari is asking if pay-per-view in the UK is less expensive compared to the US.
That fight will do at least 1.5 million.
No, he means like the cost of the pay-per-view. Like how much do they cost?
The pay-per-view in the UK is a really good deal. It's just the pay-per-views and the undercards are so bad. At the moment, I think it's £20, so that's probably about $40 maybe. I don't know the exact exchange rate, so it's probably less than $40 or $50. I'd say if the fight gets made now, it probably does at least 1.5 million. I heard the Klitschko fight done 1 million. That fight could probably do 2 million in the UK if it marinates and becomes even bigger.
20 pounds is just like $27. I googled it.
Yeah, that's what Kaiser Koba just said as well.
Yeah, probably not 2 million accurate. I think that might be stretching. Maybe 1.5. Maybe at the moment it might do 1.2 million. Yeah, maybe in the UK, I think the pay-per-view structure is a bit different, like with the popularity and that. In America, I think it probably could do 1 million in a year or two time. That's probably the maximum. I don't think it'll do more than 1 million. But even if it does 1 million, that's a good number in the UK, in the US. In the UK, I think if it does more than 1 million in the UK, that'll be a very successful business from a business point of view.
Well, the reason why I asked how much it would do, it's not because I want to be a bean counter, but because it's interesting because, you know, after the Triple G Canelo rematch, what else is there in boxing? You know, that's what people are asking. So I think Joshua Wilder would be a mega fight. Even, you know, yeah, the UK would be a mega fight, but I even think that the fact that it's two best heavyweights, that would make some noise.
I think the only other... sorry. I think the only other fight would probably be Joshua and Fury. If Fury gets back. I mean, the two British heavyweights. But apart from the Wilder fight, I think at the moment is probably bigger because Fury's inactive and he's been out of the ring for so long. I can't think of any other fights. Even the Golovkin-Canelo rematch, I don't think is bigger than the Joshua-Wilder fight.
Okay, now let me ask you guys this then. I'm going to start again with Victor. Aside from the big money fight, or the second biggest money fight in boxing, which is Wilder-Joshua, what is one fight out there? What is the next fight that you really want to see?
Let's see.
I got a suggestion if you want.
Okay, tell me.
Well, I mean, I'll give you a hint. It's a Japanese fighter.
Talking about Inoue, or are you talking about Murata?
Oh, no, I'm talking about Inoue versus the winner of...
Yeah, that's not going to happen, though. Inoue is moving up to 118. So...
That would have been a good fight, yeah.
It would have been a great fight, but sadly, we're not going to see that fight unless somebody moves up. Wangek, I think, can move up, though. Wangek is actually kind of a big guy.
Who do you favor, though, Wangek or Inui? I'm split. I thought Inui, but I think Rungvisai might have knocked him out. I think it's an even fight.
In a way, actually does have some defensive lapses at times, but I think that has to do with his competition. When he's up against somebody better, he's a little bit more... height, you know, he doesn't do that dumb shit where he just leaves himself open to things. I think he's doing that to get guys to throw more and counter them, but it's a bad habit. I don't think he would do that versus Wangek. It would be a good fight. I favor Wangek. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, wrong name. I favor Inoue, actually. Inoue is a little bit more. But at the same time, we don't really know how well Inoue can take a punch. We haven't really seen him cracked.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I think Inoue would probably be the favorite to outbox him and maybe try and punish him late on, but I could envisage knocking him out. I mean, I think Rungvisai side, some of the shots he took from Gonzalez in the first fight, I think his chin is really good, and a guy with that much power, could hurt anyone.
A lot of the like Thai fighters in general have that strange style where they... But not even style, just that strange characteristic where they could just take a whole lot of punishment.
Yeah, I gotta go. All right, I'll try and...
All right, yeah. Be easy, man.
I'll try and speak to you soon.
All right, Hamed, thanks for having joined us, man. Thanks for coming on. It's been a while, man. It had been a while since you'd been here, so it was good talking to you again.
Yeah, I've just been busy with work, and
yeah, I understand.
Today I was meant to do a 12-hour shift, but yeah, I'll try and catch you guys soon.
All right, man. Happy New Year, man.
All right, happy New Year, nice.
All right, take care, man.
Aside from that fight, though, I would really like to see Derevyanchenko up against Derevyanchenko versus Murata, although I know I'm not going to get that fight. That would be interesting just to see where both guys are, you know, because I don't really know how good Murata is, and I also haven't seen Derevyanchenko against top competition either, but they seem like they're good enough, you know, so it'd be a good fight to see. Jamal Charlo at middleweight would also at middleweight against somebody that's good, you know, that would be a good fight. Let's see, Bivol versus somebody good after the Barrera fight, because I'm pretty sure he's gonna just stomp Barrera. I hope he does at least.
Yeah, that fight, man, I don't know. I think it's a little too soon for Bivol. I don't know how good he is.
Get the fuck out of here! He's gonna beat Barrera, man.
But how good is he, though? I haven't really seen.
We don't know. We don't know, but I think he's better than Barrera, at least. Barrera isn't really as good as people make him out to be, you know?
Yeah, that's true. He's getting up there with age, man. He hasn't looked tremendous in his last couple of fights. Lopez, are you still there, man?
Yeah.
Okay, how about, you tell me, man, how about Jacobs versus one of the Charlos? Is that a fight that would interest you?
I will watch it, but I mean, I know it's not happening. It's not coming up. Charlo's mandated to fight. Can't think of his name right now. No, he's mandated to fight.
Oh, you mean Jermell, not Jamal.
Centeno Jr. Centeno Jr. and Charlo. Right, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm trying to see if Centeno Jr. can check the chin.
He can't.
And it'll be, it'll be. I mean, he just check a lean, man, or hit a lean, man. He put a lean out.
Dog, that's because Aleem is not good either.
Aleem beat the shit out of Keytrov, man. Aleem dog Keytrov. I thought Keytrov was all right. And then next thing you know,
yeah, Keytrov fights wrong, and Aleem, that fight has some bullshit to it. That fight has some bullshit to it. I'm just going to say that it had some real bullshit.
Actually,
I mean, I didn't get into it. I didn't get into what's going on. All I watched was the fight. And I saw him.
Dog, that fight is actually one of the problems I have with the fucking WBC's Clean Boxer program. It is so fucking dumb. I'm not saying that Aleem, like, for certain is on some shit, because I really don't know. He might not be, for all I know. It's just that the way they handled that was bullshit. And it just says, I have a question mark over that fight, I don't like it.
I didn't know. I didn't even know that was an issue. All I know.
Oh, dog! Let me tell you what the fuck they did. It was fucking okay. So Keytrov.
They fought a 10-round fight for a title, though. That was my only issue the night of the fight.
Yeah, that was also terrible. I don't think that was an issue though, because like they did not even go 10 rounds. This is the principle of the thing. I got you. Keytrov, because he was in the WBC's top 15, was subject to the testing for VADA testing all the time, which good. Aleem, because he wasn't in the top 15, did not have to do that shit at all. He just had to do state testing, which is bullshit. That's not, you can't.
I don't know. They didn't they have a WBC title on the line? I don't know. WBC.
No. They had that title on the line. They did not have him tested by VADA because he wasn't in the WBC's bullshit.
So why would they have him in a vacant title fight?
Fucking exactly. Why did they do that in the first place?
I don't know. That they maybe they need to answer for that, but all I can see is maybe he was on the same shit with Centeno Jr. and Centeno Jr. slept his ass. Like it wasn't no WBC belt on the line for that fight. I don't believe. I think he let that title go.
I'm pretty sure too, which also question mark.
Centeno Jr. put his ass to sleep, and I want to see if he's a newfound fighter because it's worth it. He did it. He did it. So him and Charlo, I'm looking forward to that fight.
No, Charlo's gonna just outbox the fuck out of Centeno Jr. Centeno Jr.'s not.
Probably. Yeah, go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it. He sucks.
If he does, if he does suck in that fight, then we'll see. But then Charlo can go on the bigger and better fight. He'll be the mandatory, and he don't need Danny Jacobs challenging nobody fighting ass. And I don't want to praise Danny Jacobs in the fights he don't deserve. Like he don't deserve them.
Right.
Like when Danny Jacobs was a mandatory, who did he give a shot to? Nobody. Like no.
Now wait a minute. Wasn't Charlo supposed to fight Sulecki?
Wait,
I'm not sure about that.
What's his name? Matias Sulecki, I think it's his name.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't see why that. What do you mean was supposed to fight?
I thought that was his mandatory or something.
Yeah, he's high up in the rankings at WBC. I know the ball-headed guy you're talking about. He's high in the WBC rankings.
The ball-headed
guy. Wait. Do you mean when he was at 154? Is that what you're talking about?
Nah, 160.
Now? Nah, there's no way because like he beat Hearn or Highland. I keep forgetting how you're actually supposed to say that shit.
Now know. Maybe I'm confusing one of the Charlos with another one.
I'm pretty sure you are because that wouldn't make sense either way,
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, definitely something's off. Yeah, definitely something's off with the. Remember, I can't memorize which Charlo is which. To me, they're both the same.
Dog, it's fucking terrible. If you're gonna have twins and they both do the same thing, have like similar styles and shit.
Middleweight, Jamil, junior middleweight, Jamil, junior middleweight, Jamal, middleweight.
Okay, the one with the A.
Yeah, the thing is though, have them have different fucking names.
Exactly.
It was terrible when they were fighting in the same division. That was the fucking worst.
You can tell them apart. You can tell them apart by the belt, which belt they had. Well, I could anyways. It was easy for me.
I can't do that.
Especially when Jamel didn't have like J-Rock. J-Rock was really calling out Jamal, and that's when it got down and like, okay, I got them apart now. This IBF is Jamal, right on point.
He should be called Clarence Charlo. One of them should be called Clarence or Seymour. I think that's a good name.
Clarence parents have a real good marriage.
Who and who?
Oh, I'm
You
just
said Mikey fighter is a money fighter now. Mikey's been a money fighter. Mikey the day
Facts.
he Gamboa. Yeah, Mikey Garcia got no respect for me in boxing. I just read that comment from Nikolai Ferrari.
Yeah, people in the
Mikey
chat room are
Garcia,
talking about that one, man.
he's a clown, man. He dug Linares to say he's fighting Easter, then he ducks fucking Easter, and then does a damn interview telling you why he ducked him. Yeah, tell us why you dug Gamboa while you at it. Tell us why your best fucking win is Adrian Broner and you're on the fucking number 3 pound list. Fuck out of here, Mikey Garcia.
Well, Red
Like I
Fox
said
just
before.
called it. Red Fox just called it. He says Mikey doesn't like boxing. He just does it. That's the point right there. The guy doesn't enjoy boxing all that much. It's a money, it's a job for him. It's not something that he loves. So I'm not surprised that he's going after a big money fight that might not be the biggest challenge out there.
Like I said earlier, I respect Victor Ortiz and I do more than I do Mikey Garcia.
Have you ever seen that Victor Ortiz commercial?
No. What are you
You know
referring
what?
to?
Oh, how about I show you, as opposed to
I saw
just
his rap
telling.
song. I saw his R&B song.
Fuck that, man. I'll show you a commercial that's a little bit. You remember what we were talking about calling another guy Pappy? Well,
Oh God.
this is a little bit on the same spectrum, if you know what I mean. So let's
Oh,
go ahead and
God.
watch. I hope you guys can see this. Alright, so it's a couple of guys playing basketball. Nothing too outrageous. Oh, look who's here. Victor Ortiz without a shirt and wearing jeans. So now these guys, all of a sudden, they look at him.
Yeah, I seen this commercial before. I didn't think, yeah.
Okay, now I'm watching the delayed version so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So he steps out of the car. The guy stopped for some reason to watch this shirtless man put some oil or lubricant. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Oh, nah, that's gay shit. This is gay shit.
Well, we're gonna watch it till the end, man. Because that's what we do here at BDA. Okay, so the girls look at him. Now the guys are in awe of him. And now he's playing shirtless, wearing jeans. Who plays basketball wearing jeans, by the way? That's what I want to know.
I mean, if you just had a pickup game, that shit happens. I've wear jeans before.
Yeah, and
play
were you also
basketball shit.
shirtless and putting lubricant all over your body?
I wasn't putting lubricant on myself, but shirtless,
Yeah,
sometimes a shot. I
think-
take my shirt off all the goddamn time. I walk around
I
shirtless
think,
forever.
I think he could have promoted that face lube in a different way. Like,
You think, man?
if you're gonna call it face lube, I don't know. Maybe you should take the shit and promote it on Pornhub or something. I don't know, Victor, but yeah,
Please,
that
please
right there.
don't call him by his first name. Just say Ortiz, please.
Yeah.
I don't.
But
That was-
really though, earlier today I flat I had to say it. Mike Garcia is not respectable in the sport. At least Victor Ortiz took the damn fights. I don't care if he quit or not. The fight got to end some damn way. If a person quit, I got my money's worth. I saw a person whoop his ass to the point he had to quit. Mike Garcia won't even get in fights, and he's already quitting to win. So shit, he's a quitter too. And plus, he don't take the damn fight. So Victor Ortiz more respectable than Mike Garcia all day, every day.
Tunechi Carter in the chat is saying that's why Low Place respects Ortiz because he's gay as as fuck. He's calling you gay, man.
Yeah, his mama know though.
Oh, Tunechi, man,
Yeah.
you gotta get in the hangout. You gotta get in here and speak your mind, man, because this chat room talking from the chat room
Demetrius
stuff.
Andrade annoys the fuck out of me so
Because of
much.
Is it because of the earring he has on the nose, or?
Funny. No, it's just because he doesn't even fight anybody. The thing that annoyed me the most, though, is when he had this video out where he just like imitated a bunch of other boxers and shit like that, mocking him like, motherfucker, you don't fight any of these people. You can't really mock somebody that you don't get in the ring with, you know? Like, you're not at that point where you can mock them, you know?
Well, first of all, I didn't appreciate the way you just tossed aside my little joke about the earring. But second of all, you're right, man. I mean, first of all, does he have somebody on his schedule that he's about to fight? Andrade, that is?
No,
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
no.
Well, listen, at least he's with HBO, and he could have one of the not one of the Charles, Billy Joe Saunders, maybe David Lemieux.
Oh, that would be a terrible fight. There's the Styles matchup. That would be a bad fight to watch, him versus Saunders.
Yeah, I agree.
And the thing is, I don't dislike watching either of them on their own, but together, no, that is not the move.
Okay, how about, a good stay busy fight? Although it's a dangerous stay busy fight.
Motherfucker doesn't need a stay busy fight. He needs to fight someone good fight. It's not stay busy anymore.
He needs to get mandated and force his way into a mandated position somehow, some way.
Don't fight often enough to get mandated.
And when he gets it, he needs to take it. But I don't care what he does. Boxing to go on without his ass. That's how I look at it.
Boxing is going on without his ass.
Yeah. That's how I look at it. He's a fucking bullshitting, so fuck him. That's how boxing works.
Balsagoth in the chat room is saying, remember when some cholo threw a pizza box / garbage at Ortiz after the second Berto fight, laughing my ass off?
Yeah,
I remember that.
That was foul. That was foul, man.
That's terrible.
Okay, you guys are saying it's terrible, it's foul. We agree. But can we also agree that in some respect and in some other dimension, it was actually a little comical?
Yeah, it was, but it was just retarded though. Like it was foul. Man.
But it's one of the things that I don't want to acknowledge as funny because I feel like I'm encouraging that shit to happen again if you do. So I feel like we should just call it foul, like Low Play said.
By the way,
it's foul, man. Like the dude got knocked out, man. Or Berto hit him with the nastiest uppercut of the year, and he went he looked like he fell and took a charge. And then he got up and he was ready to go get knocked out again. And then he gets knocked out and the referee waves him off. He gets out the ring, getting carried out the ring by his people, basically. And this dude throws a fucking shit. Man, that's foul, man. Come on, man.
I want to know why. I'd like to know why the guy went to that so much trouble of getting in front of him and throwing that pizza box or whatever the hell it was in his face. I mean, what the hell?
The Charlotte brothers are just fucked up, both of them. They're bad people, man. I like them though. I like the mean streak, but they're not good people. Just like Kovalev's not a good fucking person at all. Fuck him.
Can I tell you the I'll play devil's advocate. I criticize them too after their antics, post-fight antics where they're screaming and talking smack. On the one hand, I don't like to see a guy talking smack after a fight. Now, the Charlo's reasoning is that their point of view is, they were talking
personal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying because here's the thing. They take offense to the fact that their opponent says they actually have a chance to win. That's what they take offense to. And I'm thinking, what is the other guy supposed to say? That he's not going to beat you? I mean, I don't understand what's going on. On the other hand, do you guys respect the fact, or at least, I don't know, enjoy the fact that the Charlos are very emotional and that they speak their mind? Or is that what pisses you off about them?
They act like fucking they're in high school. It is annoying to see from somebody that's not in high school.
I think it's funny. When they doing it, they are talking. J-Rock was calling this man a turkey, a balk, and all that. And then when he got his ass whooped, they clown. Like, no, you can't talk all that big boy shit and think everybody's going to be this good sportsman. Look, he's a fighter. He's not a fan. He's the person that actually fucked you up. If he wants to stand over your dead body and piss on it, stand over that dead body and piss on it. Because you did it. That's all I'm saying. Like, Erickson Lubin, same thing. Got to calling this man a turkey. I'm like, ain't that the same word that J-Rock was using? You don't do that, man. You don't go in here and make it personal and then ask it not to be personal after they whoop your ass. No, give them their bragging rights.
Okay,
give them their 50 feet.
That's what I That's what I had doubts about. I didn't know that Lubin. I know that Williams had talked some smack, but I didn't know that Lubin had.
Yeah, Lubin called him a turkey again. He used the same exact term. I thought to myself, you're about to go out the same exact way too. And
of course, Lubin is dumb as shit. Lubin has so many. He's bad. So many. He's bad. His technique is terrible. He makes basic mistakes that you should not be doing in your first year of boxing. But to answer your question, Nikolai, is it even Nikolai? It's not Nikolai, it's Nikola. Anyway, Kovalev basically killed a guy in the ring, which that's not his fault. He didn't do that shit on purpose. But after he did that, he attempted to do the same thing to Pascal, which I have a problem with. And he did that on the reasoning that Pascal called him a racist. I'm like, bro, I don't think that's worthy of trying to beat a guy to death after you have already beaten somebody to death.
And you did do the racist shit. He did do racist shit. So
yeah, that too, right?
You did it, boy. You are. You do have it. Like you literally called a man a monkey on a t-shirt. Now you like mad somebody called it out. Chill out, man.
Yeah, and then
Well, like,
there's a bunch of stories about him being an asshole too, just from other people, like journalists, not even boxers, but like journalists. Kovalev gets called a piece of shit all the time.
the thing about the thing about this whole discussion we're having is that, listen, boxing is a hurting business, and so if a guy, the worst part isn't the smack talk, and then it isn't taking offense to words. It's actually the fact, like you mentioned, Victor, he tried to kill somebody in the ring after already having done it once. So I mean,
said it. That's the evidence. He said it. Like, okay, the way to kill somebody in boxing is to like get to a point where they almost get knocked out, and then stop, and then repeat it over and over again. That's how he killed the last guy. And that's what he did to Pascal. He like got to a point, then he backed off, got him there again, backed off. That's what he did. That's what he said he did. That's what the commentator said he did. That's what the trainer said he did. That's what he said he did. So that's what he was trying to do. And he already knew prior to that is how you murder somebody.
Luis Catorce is saying what I was trying to say, which is that boxing is trying to KO somebody, for Christ's sake. So that's what I'm saying. There's a balance between...
Different than trying to knock somebody out. Okay, have you boxed BDA?
Yeah.
Okay, so like the like boxing culture that like it's different than trying to finish somebody and then trying to like punish somebody and just like get them to that point and then stop and then do it again and then stop and just like make that shit into like a torture session basically.
Yeah, well, I get I get what you're trying to say, but what I'm trying to say is I agree with you that there's a big difference between beating somebody and then just wanting to torture them or trying to make sure that they have some sort of form of permanent damage. But what I'm saying is we shouldn't be so surprised that there's people like that out there, because this is a hurting business.
I'm just gonna call you a piece of shit for doing that anyway, but like I'm not surprised.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, which is like, let's not be surprised when boxing, which is a hurting business, attracts that type of people, maybe a little sadist. And it's interesting because we have sadists on this side of the boxing sport, but we also have masochists. When I look at a guy like Diego Corrales or Arturo Gatti, guys who have shown that they do have good defense when they want to use it, but then they just go into a mode where and don't tell me that it's because they're getting emotional and their adrenaline's pumping. No, these guys take shots, and I think they take shots, some of them, because they like it. For example, I mentioned Diego Corrales. He has a tattoo, or had a tattoo, I should say. He had a tattoo on his chest that said, "Pain is love," or something along those lines. So, come on, what is he trying to tell you there? You don't have to be Freud to read between the lines, man. This guy likes pain, or he liked, I should say, because he did pass away 10 years ago. But, I mean, there are some guys, too, also in there that go in there and they like getting hit, man.
Yeah, they just announced Wilder. There's some people announcing Wilder versus Ortiz for March the 3rd.
Yeah, that's scheduled. It's been like that for a while, but I don't think that's actually going to happen.
A lot of Coppinger and different people dropping it on there.
Yeah, that's not a bad fight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Joshua Wilder, but I'll fucking take it. I mean, I don't know, Victor, what do you think?
Rain TV reporting that Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz has now been agreed on for March 3rd at the Barclays Center. So yeah, that's good for Wilder. About time. Finally.
Yeah, about time. A good competitive fight.
The last time that fight was scheduled and then the fight didn't happen, I don't like the chances of this shit happening.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see them in the ring.
I don't think they can do that again. I don't think they can play that. They can't do that again.
Some shit's gonna happen. Some shit's gonna happen, man.
Because at this time, you'd have to literally take Ortiz's career, especially with the drug weight. Now, some kind of injury or some, you will see.
Okay, now hold on. Now, just to clarify things. So, Victor, what you were saying earlier was that Ortiz has been basically vindicated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so we're starting over with
a moment. I thought you meant like vindicated from like the thing he did like years ago, but you meant like from the last ship.
Yeah, the last one. From the last one, yeah. Okay, so he's been vindicated, and we're starting off with on a clean slate. I agree with Lopez though. I won't believe it till I see both of these guys in the ring, man. There's been too many shenanigans surrounding Wilder and his opponents, man. So, well, let's wait to see what happens. But stylistically, I mean, we've talked about this before, but let's go back to it right away. Does Luis Ortiz have a chance, or has he just gotten old overnight?
He has a chance. I think anybody has a chance against Wilder, because Wilder has just so many defensive lapses and just poor technique. But, okay, Wilder's advantages here, physical advantages. Faster, younger, I guess I want to say stronger. Physically stronger, that's different than like knockout power, but like stronger, probably more knockout power too, honestly. Better reflexes, timing. That's all comes with you with all that other shit. Height and reach advantage, right? I actually don't know where Ortiz is, but like he has to have that, right? For Wilder. Yeah. So on paper,
I think Ortiz has a longer reach. I think it's right there with him.
Are you sure? Wilder has some long guess. I'm gonna look this up on
Yeah,
Box. I'll talk about this.
I think Wilder looks like he has bigger arms because
It's like link, well, not linked, but like the. Yeah, let me look this up because Ortiz is 6'4", 84. That's the same as Joshua, I think. Not Joshua, but Wilder.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, same. And that's what I was thinking on the fight. Like Wilder ain't as fast as people make him seem because he's so wide with his punches. Anything telegraphed, I don't care if it's fast as hell. If it's telegraphed, it's telegraphed.
Right, exactly. That's why timing trumps speed all the time.
You're naturally fast. That don't mean you can't throw your punches as bad as Wilder, and he's throwing them terrible. You can just sit on his right hand. Ortiz, all he has to do is sit on the right hand.
Yo, isn't it funny how that shit happens in boxing? Like when you're actually boxing yourself, you think, "Oh, I'm faster," and then like when you're first starting out, I mean, like, "Ha, I'm faster," and then you just end up getting timed all the goddamn time. Like this is bullshit. Why is this happening?
Well, like McGregor always says, timing beats speed, man.
Exactly. It's funny when like that shit actually happens to you. Like one of your first time sparring, you get somebody that's like better than you, and like, "Ha, I'm faster," because you may end up being faster than, and it doesn't even matter.
The thing that
I felt
hate about
so fucking bad. I hated that so much.
The thing that I hate about sparring isn't the actual punches; it's the things that aren't punches, like an elbow, a headbutt, or a palm to the. That shit sucks. We got Hassan on the line. Hassan, it's been a while since we haven't had you on the show. How are you, man?
Yo, what's up, man? I just been chilling. You get me? What about you? How are you, fam?
We're fantastic, man. We're doing great. Listen, 2017 went by. We got 2018 on the way. So I gotta ask you, and I've been asking this to everybody, what is the one thing you want to see in 2018? It could be a fight, it could be a change in boxing, whatever. It's like, well, what do you want to see?
I want to see, I don't know. I want to see Wilder versus Joshua, obviously. Let me think. I don't know, I want to see Usyk move up to heavyweight.
Usyk moving up to heavyweight. Well, if he gets first of all, if he even wins that goddamn cruiserweight tournament.
Oh no, I already asked that. Never mind. Carry on.
Okay, you know what I want in 2018? I want that cruiserweight tournament to be streamed or delivered in a platform that I can actually watch. Because these fights, man,
yes. Oh my god, I hate having to stream that shit.
It's disgusting, man. It really is. And even Richard Schaefer was complaining about that.
You know how there's like Netflix and Spotify and stuff like that. That's like managed to, like, Netflix has taken over the movie business, if you get what I mean, because they provide it at a cheap level. But that for sport, that hasn't been done yet, if you get what I mean, because pay-per-view is fucking expensive as shit. They need to offer it on a platform that people can afford.
Well, actually, you're in the UK, so pay-per-view shouldn't even be that expensive for you over there.
$27.
$27, that's
you
right.
learned it today.
What else can you get for $27? Like in the US? Maybe a couple of drinks, a nice McDonald's meal. Maybe you can supersize. What else? Somebody said in the chat room, I want to see Michelle Joey Phelps naked. Now I gotta ask you guys, which female YouTube reporter is going to be the first one to accidentally, and I say that in quotes, accidentally release a nude photo of herself?
Michelle Joey Phelps?
Raging Babe.
Thank you.
Who the hell's Raging Babe?
You already knew what I was asking. You already knew.
Wait. What's her name? Raging Babe?
Raging Babe. Oh, don't look it up. She ain't worth it. She just was showing. Tank Davis said he showed her that pussy on Snapchat or something like that. So it's not worth it. It's nobody. You're not missing anything.
Well, people in the chat room are saying, like, Red Fox says Michelle. She's gonna be the first one.
Yeah, that's her. Michelle Rosado, Raging Babe. That's what they call her.
Oh, okay. You know what I actually want? One thing I don't want to see, and we haven't seen that in a while, and I never want to see it. I don't want to see some crazy drunk bastard hopping into the ring during a big fight, because I've been waiting that to happen, man. It hasn't happened yet, and I hope I'm not giving anybody any ideas out there. But if you think about it, we're actually lucky in boxing that there's no, it's not like in football, aka soccer, where some drunko fan always goes into the field. And in boxing, very few people have ever tried. Is that because the ring is too small and it's better guarded than an actual field, or is it because boxing fans actually we gotta give them more credit than we should?
I think it's just because of the nature of boxing. It's fucking two guys punching each other. A lot of people don't want to get involved in that shit.
Man, come on, you mean to tell me this Michelle Joy Phelps woman? I'm looking at her for the first time. You mean to tell me she got this job just because she got this job? Get the fuck out of here, man.
I'm going to Google her now because I've never seen her myself. Did y'all know that I can't recognize faces?
Is that because you've taken too many shots or what?
Nah, they need to cut this out, man.
There's some shit called prosopagnosia where you just can't recognize faces because a malfunction in the fusiform gyrus is normally attributed to that. But I've never had an MRI done, so I'm not sure if that's what's actually the cause of mine. But I've just never been able to recognize faces.
Okay, first of all, I've never been called nigger so much by somebody. First of all, that's number one. Second of all, so you
Hold
wait.
on, I say nigga, not nigger. Entirely different.
Well, I say the word. I say the N word all the time. So, but when you you're saying you can't recognize. Well, at least I'm being honest about it. No, but seriously, so you actually can't recognize. But hold on. When you say you can't recognize faces, you saying at all, or that you have trouble recognizing faces?
Like at all. I don't even know what I look like. I don't know what my mother
Really?
looks like. I can't.
I saw a documentary about that. I saw this documentary, a guy who he doesn't remember the faces of his kids. Like he just forgets about their faces.
Well, maybe because he has so many kids.
It actually
no, it's a fucked up thing.
Was that Evander Holyfield?
It only applies to faces though, like nothing else. If I saw you in person, I would know immediately who you are, because like I recognize other shit. Like I recognize how you move, like exactly how you move, like speech patterns. It's like random shit. I can't explain it, but I'm also very good at like figuring out exactly how somebody types too. Like,
fuck?
Yeah, because patterns, like that's what I have to go by. Like speech patterns, random words that you like to use, how you walk, little things, mannerisms, like all types of shit. That's what I recognize, but not your face. Never your face.
That's it. So weird. So you actually saying that since you can't recognize face, you actually
you overcompensate and you recognize everything else. That's just how it works most of the time. Some people aren't lucky and they just end up getting fucked. But usually, what happens is that you overcompensate, like your brain overcompensates, and you get like a boost to everything else.
Wait. So you could work for the CIA or the FBI or something in order to recognize patterns, right? Like writing patterns and all that.
Shit, probably, yeah.
You should get in on that, man. A government job, benefits, a nice career. Why not?
Have the CIA contact me, man. Just like hopefully they'll hear this podcast and be like, "Oh, okay."
First of all, the NSA is listening. I know that much. But CIA, I don't know. But now people are saying in the chat room, "I love Michelle." King Bucha doesn't like the cack. No, I think they're talking about Michelle Joy. Michelle Joy Phelps. Somebody mentioned Cynthia Conti. Now she's got good cans, a nice pair of fun bags on her. But I don't know about the. I mean, I don't want to sound too crude here, but the face, and that's the other thing. I've seen another female reporter. I forget what her name is. She's an Asian or half Asian. I don't know. But she also has big bonkers. I'm thinking, is that a prerequisite in order to be a YouTube reporter, or is that just something that's happening? You can recognize patterns. Is that a pattern that we're seeing that's random, or is it planned?
Well, it's not that type of pattern that I would be able to recognize. That's a logic type of thing that you're asking me about. But
just answer the goddamn question.
Logic.
No, I get what you're saying.
Logically, they would seek out an attractive woman and have them do those type of things because it would add to more views. It's not like the women are the ones that own the channel and then like do shit. It's people that own the channel and it's like, I'm gonna get this woman that does the shit because more guys are gonna be attracted to the woman and follow the channel because of that. So yeah, it does help you. It's fucking attractive woman privilege. That shit happens all the time, man.
Yeah, I just had to ask because I didn't want to seem like I wanted you to say it. I didn't want to be the one to say it. I always give the ball to somebody else and let them drive themselves into a plane. Okay, so what are people saying? People saying Michelle Yee. Yeah, they're saying Michelle. No, Helen Yee. Apparently that's a new one. Tecate hosts are gonna catch some punishment one day. I don't know what that means, and I don't want to know.
I do like BDSM a lot, so I would
Jesus
like
Christ.
to be that guy. Dog, I like weird shit, man.
So wait a minute. Are you on the B part, or I mean, are you the S or are you the M in the
Either
BDSM?
fucking one, honestly. I mean, I like role reversal sometimes. Like, my only thing is that I don't want anybody to ever try to stick something up my ass. That shit is never, ever, ever going to happen. Nor do I want them to, like, make me suck some shit. That's also not going to happen. I'm a goddamn man. But as far as, like, getting tied up, and, like, I want to be fucking tased. That's another thing, too.
Yeah, I thought you were kidding about that, man.
Fuck no, man.
Okay, have you ever heard about stealthing?
The fuck is stealthing?
Or I forget how they say it, but it's when, you know, people like having things stuck up their dick hole.
Oh, that's sounding, and no.
Stealthing. Oh, that was a good one. All right, yeah, so yeah, sounding.
No, that shit is that's not me. I don't want that. I don't want to endanger my penis at all.
Okay, so when you say that you want to be tased,
I don't want
the balls.
9-inch monster to get like in any danger. That's my main talking point with women. You can't put that in jeopardy.
All right, now listen, you can tell us that you like BDSM and all that, but one thing I don't want is for you to lie. I don't want you lying about the size of your cock, all right? 9 inches. Nobody's buying that, Victor. Come on.
Oh, there's pictures of this. You can actually find. I don't want you to look at the pictures as you're a fucking guy, but it's actually very easy to find this shit. Pull out a ruler.
Low place, are you following this whole conversation, or are you like me? Are you wishing I'd never asked any of these questions?
You don't want to go down the rabbit hole with me.
Yeah, low place is out. Hassan, what do you think? Is this a little too weird for a boxing podcast? Hassan's out too. You drove everyone away, man. You drove everyone away. Listen, as long as it's just you and me here talking, I'll tell you something. People would be surprised, man, at how far some individuals out there would go when it comes to sex. But let's face it, as with boxing, where we're talking about, you know, people being sadists and all that, there's a fine line between violence and sex, man, and sometimes they overlap, or oftentimes, I would say. Oh, yeah, Hassan's out, by the way. Hassan is definitely out. He just left. This shit was too much for him. And by the way, if the NSA was listening, I know now the FBI is for sure they're listening to this conversation.
The CIA is going to like retract their offer. They're already like typing up the job description for me, and now they're like, oh nope.
Well, they might get you as an interrogator or something.
I'm going to be in Gitmo one day.
Yeah, you're gonna love it, huh?
Just waterboarding people and shit.
They're gonna be water. No, I thought you were saying you were gonna be waterboarded.
Nah, I'm going to be waterboarding them, but like it's going to be different because I'm going to forget that I'm supposed to be getting information. Like, oh, you know what? I know that torture isn't really an ideal method to gathering information. You know what? I don't care, and I just go through the shit anyway.
You let him go. Oh man, that's some sick. Now I'm scared of you, man. Now I'm scared of you because I mean, not for nothing, but who was it? Oh yeah, Moby. You know the musician, right, Moby?
No. Tell me.
You don't know Moby?
I have no idea what you're talking about, bro.
Oh jeez. Wait a minute. How old are you again?
I'm 24.
No, but that doesn't make any sense. You're supposed to know who that is. Hold on a second. My voice.
Nah, Moby fucking faded out. Like nobody knows Moby anymore.
Well, they should, man. The guy was. Well, yeah, you're right. All right. Anyway, he was the one. I don't know. You know the Born Supremacy?
Yes.
Okay, he was the one that did the end theme. It's like an electronic music with a breakbeat at the end. Anyway,
okay.
He was a big deal in 1999, circa 2002 as well. But anyway, he wrote a book a couple of years ago, his autobiography, and he talked about how he was into sadomasochism, or actually the masochist part. Mm-hmm. And he was living in New York, and he would go to these underground, you know, locations where, and he would go to see a dominatrix, and he said this wasn't just, you know, whipping the balls or, you know, being hit with a stick. He said this was hardcore, and he didn't go into details, but he said this. He said, all I'm gonna say, he said, is that on the ground there were there was a drain on the ground, on the floor, I should say, to drain out all the blood from the clients. So that's the type of shit that he was into, and I'm thinking, whoa. I mean, it's one thing being whipped.
I don't want to draw blood. That's I wouldn't do that.
I don't understand.
Yeah, Hassan, you're back.
What are they draining the blood from? I don't understand.
No, they're not draining blood. They're cutting people up, and that's a lot of blood that's dripping off the table and onto the ground. So they need some way to. I didn't hear
That's
you. What was that?
nasty.
I can't understand what you're saying, man. You gotta speak up.
Fucking disgusting.
Yeah. That's an understatement right there, man. Well, I mean, it's actually you shouldn't say disgusting because Victor's into that type of stuff. So we established.
Not drawing blood.
Oh no, you said tasting the balls, right?
I mean, not the balls. You probably won't be able to have kids after that. You need like somewhere around like the stomach, the thigh, not the heart, because that would also kill you. Not anything like neck and above. That would also be bad. But like around like the stomach, thigh, legs, back, type of shit like that.
Now, how when you say taste, you're talking an actual paralyze you taste, or like just electrocute it a little bit?
Because they're all different voltages here. Let's see. I want to be
We're going into
tased,
voltages
but I
now.
also don't want to. I might fall unconscious. It depends. I've never been tased before, so you never know. Well, the thing with tasers, though, there's like two kinds. I don't want to like have the shit where it shoots out electrodes and pierces the skin and then shocks you. I don't want that shit. I just want one of those like standard the drive stun function. That's when it like just the shock shit. You just like put it close to you, then it shocks you. That's that one. I want that one.
All right, that's good to know. People in the chat room are saying that David Carradine, the guy from Kill Bill and from Kung Fu, he died. Yeah, I've forgotten about that. He died by autoerotic strangulation or asphyxiation, I should say, and that shit is dangerous. Now, who told me this story? I read this story recently about a guy who left his girlfriend in a closet, and then he went to get a drink or something, I don't know, and then when he came back, she was dead. I'm thinking, first of all, if you're gonna do the autoerotic asphyxiation thing, please don't leave the room and don't leave the person
How
strangled.
you go do that shit? That's
Okay,
terrible.
I mean, I gotta suspect that the person
He
wanted
killed
that
her.
person. That,
He
yeah, he
fucking
killed her.
killed her. That's not even. That's against the rules.
That's against all the rules, man, all the rules. But that's another one. David Carradine.
For those listening, I would like to help out everyone if they want one big takeaway from this discussion. If you are going to do something that requires a safe word, the ideal safe word is actually time out. You don't want to have something that's like hard for you to say or something that you can't signal. The beauty of timeout is that you can also signal it as well as say it, because there are going to be some times where you might not be able to talk, and that's why timeout is ideal. Just like hold that shit up and then it stops.
Okay, this is how you know that a guy is really into this type of shit when he talks about the best safe word. I mean, Jesus Christ, Victor, you're scaring the crap out of me, man. By the way, I don't have a safe.
You're like getting tasered in the balls. I want nothing to say to that.
Yeah,
Not the balls.
Yeah, well,
Never the balls.
never the balls. Well, never say never. You know, my safe. I don't have a safe word. I have a safe phrase.
See, that's bad. That's bad, man.
Well, my safe.
Too long already.
It's not just bad because it's too long. It's also bad because my safe phrase is, "Give me more, bitch." That's my safe phrase, and that can actually get a little confusing. You know, sends mixed messages. So we covered
Safe word is
autoerotic.
not doing that shit at all.
Was that Hassan?
I said my safe word is not doing that shit at all.
Well, you know what? Different strokes for different folks, I guess. We covered sounding, which I thought was called stealthing for some reason. I guess that's a different thing. We covered autoerotic asphyxiation. We covered being tased, but not with a high voltage, because that would be insane. And we know, obviously, nobody here is insane. Nobody. You know, we got a guy that thinks Adonis Stevenson is #1 pound for pound. We got a guy who likes being tased. We got a guy that likes being puked on. I mean, Jesus Christ, everybody has their own little things here.
I have never enjoyed being puked on, but there was this one time that we were both drunk. This girl deep-throated my dick, and then she threw up on it, and then she licked it off. It was disgusting, and I left. But I let her finish, but I left.
What a gentleman. You let her finish. Wow. My goodness. Corruption in Boxing is saying BDA was probably the gimp in Pulp Fiction. First of all, I wasn't the gimp. I was Zeke.
I love how you got thrown into that shit, too.
Yeah, what the fuck? How did I get mixed up in all of this? Hassan would be Zeke. That's what Hassan would be playing. Nobody would want to play Ving Rhames, though, that's for sure. Red Fox says they should make their own movie. Stevenson as pound for pound is practically a fetish, says Ivan Chuberkis. My goodness gracious. Listen, guys, we gotta go. It's been 2 hours. and the conversation just got a little too weird. Why does it always happen at the end, by the way? Why does the conversation always derail?
Because everyone backtracks and no one sticks to the topic. They're bored as shit.
Exactly. By the way, Hassan, I wish we could have stayed on longer. I know you just hopped in, but man, we gotta go. We got stuff to do. But come back earlier next time, man.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll come through next time.
Are you still boxing, by the way?
Yeah, man.
All right, good. Keep it up, man.
Oh, you were the guy that had the trainer that was like terrible and wanted you to fight like southpaw when you were like orthodox, right?
Switch it in.
Yeah. Oh man, you got rid of him, right?
Yeah, I got a new trainer now.
Good.
But he wasn't even a proper trainer. He was just like a fucking bum and.
Yeah, I'm quite sure he wasn't a proper trainer. Anybody that like suggest that should just fucking retarded. Don't. Ugh.
No, because he used to walk around the gym with his head held down.
Oh, he was fucking one of those guys. One of the fucking guys, not like a trainer, but like just walks around suggesting weird shit that nobody listens to.
He's one of those guys.
Yeah, no, dog.
And the thing is, my cousin who's a bodybuilder, he's never boxed a day in his life. He's just a big guy, and my cousin fucking beat the shit into him, a so-called trainer, and he's never boxed a day in his life.
Yeah, dog. It's weird. Like in America, at least, every gym has that one guy, and I don't understand why they're let in. Because they don't box. Like they're just there and being weird. But I've always seen them.
What type of gym do you go to?
Oh, just boxing gyms. Just.
Well, like, is it like a posh gym? Is it like a really expensive gym, or is it like a hood gym?
Well, it's not an expensive gym. There's like gyms that are like in the range of like $50 to $70 a month.
What the fuck? You know how much I pay for my gym?
Well, you have like a good or like it's one of the fucking like respectable trainers. So I imagine you're paying like what 100, 150?
Nope.
But wait a minute. If this guy,
like £3-4 a session.
You're paying how much?
£3-4 a session, which is like $6 a session.
Oh, that's why. That's just terrible. That's odd.
Have you heard of Frankie O'Sullivan?
Why is your gym so inexpensive? That's crazy.
It's a community boxing club, so like the government pays for most of the shit.
That's interesting. That must be a UK thing. Around here, like standard boxing gyms are always like 50 to 70. Like if you go less than that, then it's not a gym you should bother going to. And more than that, they're usually just overcharging you.
It's like, you know how the government pays for youth clubs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically that. It falls under the category of a youth club. So yeah, most of the shit the government pays for, or the local council.
Interesting.
Now listen, this guy wasn't really a trainer.
The gym recently got a 10K check off Eddie Hearn. That's pretty sick.
Nice.
Hey, well, first of all, Covert Operative is in the chat room saying, I bet BDA is dying to go so he can rub baby oil onto Butch's hairy chest. First of all, how did you know that? Second of all, it's not oil, it's not baby oil, we don't do that shit. Third of all, Hassan, I wanted to ask you a question. You're saying this guy wasn't really a trainer, so why were you calling him a trainer in the first place?
Can I address what Covert Operative said first, though?
No, I wish you didn't, but yeah, go ahead.
You gave too fucking much thought to that shit. Baby oil on his hairy chest. You gave another name. Yo, you on some shit, bro.
Nah, he's just that's Covert Operative, man. That's what he does. He comes up with some outlandish shit. But
it's too much thought.
Too much thought. So yeah, Hassan, why were you calling this guy a trainer if he was just a guy with a towel around his shoulder?
Because when I first started, I didn't really know who the trainers were at that gym. So I just went with the guy who helped me, if you get what I mean. But then obviously, I found out who the real trainers were, and
that's weird. Usually they fucking warn you about that shit.
Yeah. You know what I do? I approach a gym the same way I would approach prison. I go in there, I keep my head down, I don't look at anybody, I just, study my surroundings, I see who's the big dog, who's the small dog, and then I make my move. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't go in there, and the first time somebody comes up to you, you listen to what they say. You gotta scout the place first, Hassan. Let that be a piece of advice for you for the next time you go to a new gym. In the chat room, people are talking about Tarantino, who's another guy with a weird fetish. Well, he's got a foot fetish. That's actually a standard fetish. That's like fetish 101 right there. That's That's nothing special to me.
Why does Quentin Tarantino have the word nigger so much in every single one of his movies? Have y'all noticed that?
Okay, I want to address that point. First of all, I understand if you want to have that word in your movies. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But the context is everything, as Lopez likes to say. And in Pulp Fiction, when Tarantino's playing the guy where they're gonna try to not dump the body. You know which scene I'm talking about, right? Tarantino has a scene. Okay, and he says that N-word. Does my house have a sign that says N-word storage out on the side of it? Why is a white guy saying, you know what I mean? Like, why is he calling the black dead character the N-word? That's what I don't get.
It's like in all of his movies too. Like you said, sometimes it doesn't even fit. Like there's no reason for that to be there. It's weird.
Well, like for example, in Reservoir Dogs, when Mr. White is fighting against Mr. Blonde, and then Steve Buscemi's character says, "You're acting like a bunch of ends." Okay, I get it. I get from the character's context, which is there's three low lives. You know, that's how they would talk. But the one in Pulp Fiction makes no sense. And there's actually an urban legend out there that Tarantino was on the set of Crimson Tide back in 1995. Supposedly Denzel Washington actually called him out on it, but I don't know if that's actually a true story, if it's just a rumor.
Hopefully he did, because I would have called him out on that shit. That's weird as fuck. Like, I feel like the only movie where it is really like appropriate is fucking Django. Like nothing else is really like, why is this here?
Wait a minute. First of all, so you don't think you even disagree with the use of it in Reservoir Dogs, or?
Well, no, it's okay. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
In that context, for what he said, it's okay, but also at the same time, why is that there? Like, it would have had the same effect if it wasn't there. You know, this is what I mean. Like, for Django, it makes sense for that to be there. For Reservoir Dogs, it's like you had to make up a situation for that to be. You know what I mean? Like in the context of the movie, it's like, why?
Well, how about in Goodfellas at the beginning, where the guy goes, "Some end stole my truck."
Again, why is that situation there?
Well, because wait a minute, who just came back? Okay, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Why that situation is there? Why is that word in there? Well, because the joke is that they're always gonna have to blame a black guy for it, and that's the perfect foil, you know. That the Italians actually took the truck, but they gotta blame a black guy for it. So that in that context, I'll tell you this much: I hate it when just the word. Oh fuck! I'm getting a message here. We have to end it. Okay, just in that context, Goodfellas, I understand. Pulp Fiction, because listen, I like using all types of words. If it were a perfect world and I were in charge of it, I would let everybody use whatever word they're using. You know, for example, you call everybody nigga, but how is it different from ER? I mean, I know what you're trying to say, so what's the difference? You know what I mean?
Well, the whole difference for that, to me, is that it's just the background. Like, I am a black guy from fucking, like, the projects of Virginia, so that's always been a part of my lexicon. Also, I'm like a hip hop listener. I listen to rap all the fucking time. Like, I grew up around that. That's how we all talk. So it's like if you try to say something about like Canadians saying A, or like
they do.
Mexican guys saying homes or some shit like that. That's just how you talk.
Right. Well, listen, I think if you're getting all pissy or prissy about a word, I understand the context. I understand black people don't have it easy in this world. But let's face it, this 21st century, nobody has it easy. I mean, some people maybe to varying small degrees. But at the end of the day, I think we should all be allowed to say whatever we want. Now, I do understand. I will say this, though. When somebody says the N-word, and they put an emphasis on the ER at the end, you know, because you could say, like, right? But if you go, there's a difference. It seems like the longer you prolong the ER part, it seems the more you're enjoying saying it. So then I would understand if you have a problem with it.
So now it's like a time limit. Like, you can only say this word for X amount of time.
I'm telling you, black people, you gotta walk around with a chronometer and time that shit, man. See how long somebody's putting that off. All right, so people in the chat room are talking about eating ass now. That's not a fetish. Come on, guys, you gotta step your game up. Eating ass is a fetish.
You know,
that's not a fetish.
As kinky as I am,
right?
I don't eat ass. I don't.
Well, that's because you're crazy. We've already seen that.
Nasty, man.
What's that?
This is how you get hepatitis.
Nasty, man. Imagine you fucking eat ass and a piece of poop goes in your mouth.
That's part of the game, man. That's the risk you're taking, man. And I don't see anything wrong with it. All right. People saying we've been
You
desensitized.
don't see anything wrong with poop going in your mouth.
Well, have you ever had that happen to you?
Fucking imagine that, it'd be disgusting.
Yeah, it would be disgusting. But I mean, if you're in the right mindset and you have the right frame of mind, you can't be shaken up. You know, a little shit in your mouth. It's gonna take a lot more than that to shake you up. Is what I'm trying to say. Poop has bacteria. So what? Everything has bacteria nowadays. In fact, if you wash yourself with too much antibacterial soap, you're gonna be fucked up afterwards because your immunity is gonna be down. So
Why do all these Hollywood guys are fucking weird as shit, man? Like they're all fucking stalkers and serial killers and perverts and shit.
Hassan, that is a very good question, and that is a topic that we are going to save for the next episode. Because now we actually have to go real quick, and it doesn't have anything to do with me and Bucho and Baby All right? We just gotta go. So I want to thank everybody who was in here today. Cameron left, and he didn't even say goodbye. I think he was too perturbed by the conversation that was going on between Low Place and everybody else. Low Place left as well. He didn't even say goodbye, but he's already told us he doesn't like saying goodbye. So I want to thank Victor. I want to thank Hassan. I want to thank Hamed. King Bucha, my co-host as always. I want to thank everybody that was in the chat room today, making things happen. Red Fox, Akuma's Deception, Luis Catorce, Tunechi Carter, Sanctus Deum, shit, I forget your name. Nicola Ferrari, John Wilson, Red Fox. Who else am I missing here? Come on, Tunechi Carter, I said 889. You guys know who you are. B-Rup, K-R. Oh my, come on. You guys know who you are. You make this show happen. Covert Operative, shout out to him as well. Shout out to Get Off Me Son. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for making the BDA brand what it is, really. I mean, this show wouldn't be shit without you guys. So I want to thank you. We had a good run. Cobra Operative says back to Syria now. All right, yeah, go back to Syria. Fucking special ops. And hopefully you have a good year, 2018. I hope you have some resolutions. Hope you make them tight, nice and tight, strong. I don't know why I'm saying tight like that. It makes it sound weird. But then again, this whole conversation has been weird from the start. So who the hell cares? Guys, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to join us next week. Have a good year. Drink responsibly. And we will see you on the next one. Take care, folks.